Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are back in Diablo, as we will soon see. We just got finished with a really awesome 7 Days to Die stream, Alpha 21. So check that out there. My previous live streams. It was really cool to play the experimental branch, and I'm very eager to play it again. But I must peel myself away to play Diablo, because this is still quite awesome. Alright, so I will be copying that link there to the thing, putting it on Twitter, putting it on Discord. We'll be starting soon. Diablo 4 stream is a go. That's not a go. There we go. Sorry, I had a little bit of grammatical error there. It's okay. Yes. Alright, got it. We got it. It's all good. Okay. The stream be live. Alright. And I'm also going to put this in the Discord. Slaying some more demons. Alright. This guy not included. He is okay, demon. Alright. I've got that linked. And now it is time. Hey, Cornton, how you doing? Shiny loot, I want some. Yes, I love shiny loot too. Shiny loot is definitely my favorite kind of loot. It has to shine. If it doesn't shine, it's just not as desirable. I find myself less interested in the loot if it's not shiny. Yes. Yes. Okay. Last time you saw my druid, we had just finished the campaign. Well, now we're in the end game, and the end game consists of multiple end games. One of which you can do bounties at the Tree of Whispers all around the world, these little marks. You can only work on one little rotation at a time. You go in, you turn in the Grim Favors, you get a cool little reward. We may do a little bit of those. We got Nightmare Dungeons as well. Nightmare Dungeons are one of the bigger portions of the endgame, it seems. Because when you complete them, you get access to harder dungeons, as these little glyphs, these sigils, sorry, not glyphs. But they tie into glyphs, so you can level. So I've leveled my spirit glyph to level 6, and you can only do this via the Nightmare Dungeons. This can lead to some very stupid levels of power. This is the Paragon tree I built so far. So, just to explain how cool this is, Paragon levels do have a maximum number of Paragon levels in this game. A little sad to see that. However, there's quite a lot of levels. On top of that, you can level your glyphs. And you can place down glyphs. I don't know how many levels glyphs have. But because you can level them, they're perpetually growing, perpetually stronger bonus over time. Also, I didn't realize we had some more dex things over here, so that actually got stronger as a result of that. That's quite nice. Yeah, you can just keep making yourself stronger. So what I'm going to be doing with this Paragon tree is trying to make my way up here to that glyph socket. And got a lot of damage modifiers here and there. I will want the storm skill damage bonus. I could get that. I don't really care too much. I like the storm skill damage bonus. Yeah. And then we will work our way over here eventually. We're not going to get there tonight. No way in heck we get that. But I think we want to go through this tree if we can. I mean, getting a little bit of intellect along the way is not bad. Okay, so what to do first? I think we do the Tree of Whispers first, just because. That's PvP. That's a PvP zone. Cool. Didn't know that. Now I know it. Tree of Whispers. It just yeah, these are also PvP. So I guess there's more PvP areas than we knew about. Fetid Mausoleum. Let's go there. Hi again. Hello. 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 Oh. I'm still... I kind of want to go back to 7 days, but I'm committed to this. I'm so conflicted. This summer has been... Or this year has been lots of good game titles dropping in very short order. And it doesn't seem like it's been short order. It seems like it's been forever. I mean, it was several weeks ago that I was playing Hogwarts Legacy, and now I'm playing Diablo. Which I will have to return to that, by the way. Oh, yeah. I should probably do this. That's part of the tree whispers, so. Also, I'm kind of torn between weapons to use, because I got a really cool new sacred weapon I'll show you guys later. The problem is, it's got its own unique set of issues. One of which is... Well, okay, so it's an axe. It's an axe, and the axe gives my shred upon killing an enemy guaranteed crits for a few seconds, which is a big deal. The problem is the axe itself doesn't deal a lot of damage by itself. It does not deal a lot of damage. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing. It's the fact that it gives you guaranteed crits is amazing. That's an amazing thing to have. And I've been using it, and it's quite nice. It's just, I don't know if I should use that or the cool axe that I have. 2 axes, completely different gameplay. The axe I have hits really hard, as you can see by some of those numbers. But the axe that gives me guaranteed crits, oh, does it zerg. Oh, it zergs. And I'll show you guys a bit of that gameplay. I'm just not sure which is going to be the better thing for me at the moment. Really hard to debate on that. One hits really hard, the other one can potentially hit really hard. See, another thing is this axe is really slow, whereas the other one is incredibly fast because it's a one-hander. I want this. Okay. Or people being disappointed with Hogwarts Legacy, more specifically the ending, but I don't know why I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I am going to finish that eventually on stream. I really have not. I have not finished it yet. I keep saying I'm going to come back to it, and then, you know, a new game comes out. Even on the 20th, we have an update for Age of Wonders, so I know I'm going to be kind of sucked into that. I cannot promise I'll be doing Hogwarts this month, but I want to. I want to finish it. I'm so close. I'm so close. Actually, I have no idea how far I am in this. I don't know. Okay, so we need those 2 little things. So you can see the enormous numbers this weapon will generate, but it's not quick. And because it doesn't guarantee crits, some of my other strong abilities just don't make the cut. Those lightning bolts, if they're always crits, they deal a tremendous amount of damage. So, I mean, you'll see what the other axe can do. I'm thinking I am leaning towards the other axe. It's just... this one has some amazing numbers. Amazing numbers. What I really need is a really good totem to go with the other weapon, since it's a, you know, one-hander, and that kind of requires a totem. Oh, you fart. You farted. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Do 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 do. Oh my god. Ow. And because the other axe is faster, there are like more opportunities for more attacks on demand. Okay, I guess they're just bleeding out. Alright. Thought I was gonna get attacked by something over there. Nope, it did not. Let's look at that. We got like 33,000 easy damage. And my current glyph makes it so that whenever I crit an enemy, I deal more damage to that enemy. So, in addition, like, we're getting crit, 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 and it's going up. But the reason that that's less impactful here is, yeah, sure, I'm doing high damage numbers, but since the other axe guarantees crits all the time for all of my abilities, you can see how stupid that gets. I don't know. Take into account what you see here, and then tell me when I use the other axe if you think it's better or worse. I mean, I've been able to kill some bosses incredibly fast with the other weapon, so it's really hard to judge at this point. Give me that ring. Give me that ring. The ring is now mine. Of course, if I build more attack speed with the other weapon, in theory it would be better by default anyways, because then I'd be getting even more attacks. That's just, I love seeing those chains. It's so beautiful. It's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He just gained all his health back. How could he? How could he? Ah! 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 Oh, God. I do not like that. I don't know what just happened to me, but I got, like, stuck in place. We find so many reasons not to come back to it. Maybe it's not so great after all. Sometimes we're tired of something before we realize. No, no, no. I'm not tired of Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a variety streamer, and my job entails that I attempt to keep that variety up. My channel does not rely on any one single, you know, episode or episodic series. I move between stuff, or I finish stuff. I put Hogwarts Legacy in a completionist's, like, story completionist's section. So effectively, the content that I would produce from that is everything to the story and my reaction to that story, and that's where I end it. I'm not going to do a complete completionist run, like 100%, because that would just be painful for everyone, including myself. I'm not doing what Bane did off camera. Bane actually completed everything there was to complete. He literally went through every single area and tried to... I told him he should stream it. He didn't want to stream it, but... saying, yeah, like, you had some profound reactions to the game, and I feel that that's something that maybe your audience would want to know, but he didn't want to stream it. He said he may do it in the future. Who knows? Okay, that red ring disables you. That's what happened. All right, I get it. But I did not hate the game at all. I loved it. I talked nothing, you know, but praise for that game. It's just, it's now older news, and I did a few episodes, and I got sick. I had the flu, and I was unable to keep the energy up, but as you can tell, I'm getting better. Definitely a lot better than I was months ago. And it has been months. So yeah, I'm slow to act. But then stuff like this keeps my interest even more so. I mean, I consider Diablo a far superior series as a whole than most games that come out. Although it's not the greatest content. I mean, let's face it, some people don't like seeing a little person running across the screen just tapping, tapping, tapping. As opposed to, you know, Hogwarts, which is adventure, exploration, and puzzles, and, you know, character emotions and such. There's more going on. It's just the type of content. Problem with Diablo and games like that is the fights are very confusing. Yeah, no, yeah, that's it. Like, I do understand that this game may lose some people. I'm not going to get many views on it unless, like, you know, some hardcore gamers out there that enjoy watching what I've done, and I don't have that audience. I know I don't have that audience, but I enjoy playing the game. I'm very multifaceted when it comes to video games. I mean, aside from that, I really don't like puzzle games, but I will say this about Hogwarts. I like the puzzles in it. Because they actually have to use what you've learned or what you know about the world. Or what you don't know. I do like that, but I usually don't go for puzzle games. But action games, FPS games, voxel, adventure, sandbox, I play all sorts of games. And yeah, again, fully aware, some people are not going to like this. Some people are not going to like Diablo over Minecraft or, you know, things like that. I get it. At the end of the day, it's what I choose to do. It's what I have chosen for my variety. Also, there's drops right now on Twitch for this game, so a lot of people are not going to watch this because there's no drops enabled. They're thinking, oh, what can I get out of watching Garrett play this game? Nothing! So they're not going to watch me. I mean, YouTube doesn't have a drop system. They really should. They really should have a drop system. If I was able to, I would enable something like that. That'd be so cool. Reward my viewers a bit. It's one of the sleazy tactics of YouTube, though. It's like, yeah, if you watch, there's a chance you could win something. It's like, I don't do that shit. I could. I don't do that shit. I don't do giveaways. It's panhandling. And I would rather do real-life panhandling than do internet panhandling, because, yeah, I'm in need of money, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, guys, watch my video and I'll give you this. I'm not. No. No. You like my content, that's good. It's good enough for me. I know people really like the 7 days. I like the 7 days. I love the 7 days. Also, I had a really fun time playing Maneater, and that's another game I have to return to. I really have to return to it. Maneater is arguably one of the most genuinely well put together games I've played in years. And unfortunately, it's very easy to play single thing in it very fast. It's very easy to complete that game. I would love to see some sort of roguelike mode added to it, or something to keep its longevity, because, yeah, you're gonna have a fun time playing it, but then you're done with it. You're done. You're one and done, and there's almost no reason to come back. I mean, unless I'm missing something, unless the update I haven't played has more to it, which would be cool. They're here, get ready. The thing with the shark, yeah, Maneater. Yeah, the shark game. I am going to return to that. I planned on playing the DLC, so I replayed the entire game. Okay. Oh, I see, it glitched. Okay. They were in the other room wailing on his friends. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was going to return to it to play the DLC, and then I kind of got distracted after beating the game the second time, having not revealed any of the DLC, which was the entire point of returning. Oh, God! And now I get stun locked. I got stun locked. They're all gonna die. There's no way. There's no way I win this. There's only one person left. Yeah, these missions kind of suck late game. I think they need to tweak them. It's like virtually impossible when you're alone, depending upon your build. I have an AoE build, and only one guy survived. I'm so sorry, milady. You're the only one. Oh my God! But look at the stuff. There's loot. Sacred loot. We gotta come back. There's too much stuff here, and I would like to take as much with me as I can. Okay, come back to that area. It's a bit old, isn't it? I remember seeing some videos years ago. Yeah, it's a little older now, but it's a good game. It's a good game. Like, if you want a solid action game, semi-sandbox, it's like Grand Theft Auto had a baby with Humankind: The Odyssey. In a good way. because Humankind wasn't exactly a good game, and I didn't even play that. I do have it. I haven't played it. Sorry to say. Maybe someday. When you're struck as a werebearer, you have a 30% chance to gain 1 spirit. I don't care. Duration of Grizzly Rage is increased by 1. That's not enough to make that good, and I don't use it either. Cyclone Armor, nope. You heal, nope.
I can break that down.
Okay. Let's put the gems away really quick.
Not while I'm in town.
This town kind of sucks for horse pathing. Your horse kind of gets caught on edges a lot. Notice that some towns are not ideal. I really gotta convert all my chipped gems into better gems. There's a whole new gem tier. Oh yeah, let's switch weapons while we're here. So you get to see what the two-handed axe is capable of, and this is the axe itself. It is a very good axe. It is one of the first sacred weapons that ever dropped for me. It was a yellow, of course, at the time. I imprinted it with Shred. It's very powerful. Very powerful. I have yet to find a stronger two-hander than this. And that was when I first came into Nightmare mode. However, so we have the Waxing Gibbous and the Stormclaw's Honored Relic. And I also got Frostburn, but that's more for a sorceress. Although, could technically work with any character. It's just the cold damage doesn't matter to us. Okay, so why is this axe really good? Well, it has a lot of crit bonuses. It has a lot of damage to healthy or injured enemies. It gives us a lot of life when we kill something. But the best thing about it is you gain stealth when you kill an enemy with Shred. Whenever you break that stealth immediately after with an attack, you get the ambush status, which guarantees for 1.8 seconds. That could be better. 1.8 seconds guarantees all hits as critical strikes. Guarantees them. On top of that, we got 2 emeralds, so it's critical strike damage against vulnerable enemies, which I create quite a lot of vulnerable enemies. And then, of course, we've got the imprint for Shred. It's a lot less powerful because it's 2 one-handers, but it still helps. Now, our damage goes down quite a lot as a result of this. So you'll see my attack power goes down by a tremendous amount. So 3,036 to 2,403. But what makes this valuable, what makes this super valuable, is the fact that we get those guaranteed crits. Now, this factors in a lot with my build and how it deals damage and increases damage to enemies. Critical chance is increased. That becomes irrelevant unless we have, no ambush bonus. So when we don't have it, we still get that bonus. But we still get an increase to critical strikes as poison. Enemies that are poisoned take additional critical strike damage. Our 6th werewolf skill hits automatically, so even if we don't have the bonus active, but it always does 60% increased damage. So how that factors in is, if I have guaranteed crits, that skill will roll for a tremendous amount of damage on top of everything. It just guarantees the proc, even though the chance is irrelevant. None of that matters. That doesn't matter. Let's see. Yes, the Paragons. Right here. Storm scales deal 30% times increased critical strike damage against vulnerable and mobilized enemies. That's big. And I saw what I believe was a 90,000 crit hit with a lightning ability. Which is insane. Plus I've got all these other beautiful bonuses here that just fuel to that. We still need more dex and willpower. We'll get that soon, I have no doubt. And then this is the big one. Critical strike damage with core skills. That's our core skill, Shred. That's what we mainly use. And that's where we've been succeeding this power over and over again. Then it says critical strikes increase the damage an enemy takes from you by 2% times for 20 seconds up to 12% times. So that gets quite big. Like, that number 12 is actually quite large. It gets quite large because it's the damage an enemy takes from me. So it's not just the critical hits, it's all the damage. And what they call the X's are wild cards. It doesn't necessarily mean times, but it is a times modifier. So it's big. It is quite big.
Not while I'm in town.
This dual-wielding build easily ramps up and equates to a lot of damage. But the base damage is lower. That's the problem. If that made any sense. Got that general idea here. Synergy. Yes, synergy. Yeah. This entire game is about building stupid synergy. So you'll see some stupid synergies from it. You will also see where it kind of falls a little behind. Okay, these guys are ferociously T-posing. That's a bug.
Just wait a moment.
But I like how fast I can attack now. That's so much faster than what I'm used to. In fact, it leads to me ending up using more energy than I thought I used. So I'll end up like, why am I not attacking? It's like because I've already blown all my energy because of how quickly the werewolf will attack. Okay, so if I kill an enemy with Shred, right there. Right there. You see that damage? An instantaneous, holy crap, exploding damage. So my lightning strikes, my random lightning strikes become automatic crits. That's where most of my damage was always coming from, but because they're always crits now, and they deal more damage to enemies that have been crit, and they're hitting the same enemy over and over and over again, it gets enormous. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm not ready.
So I think the two, one-handers are better. I think they're better. Specifically because of this axe. Oh yeah, if you didn't notice too, I've got the Mad Wolf's Glee, which is a which is a really cool piece of equipment here. And his health is draining incredibly fast. Yeah, and he's dead. No, these are nightmare dungeons, by the way. These are nightmare dungeons. And, oh, wait, no, these aren't... This isn't a nightmare dungeon. Sorry, this wasn't a nightmare dungeon, but it's effectively the same result in a nightmare dungeon. This was just a World Tier 3 dungeon. They're still pretty tough. I think I'm beyond the normal dungeons, though. I do have nightmare dungeons. I can solo a Tier 16 dungeon. I've done it before. Then I did one with my friend Bane. They are risky, because there are enemies that can one-shot you, so I'm not as tanky as I should have been to do it. Can I, please? Thank you. So, yeah, it's not, like, a smart idea to go after a nightmare dungeon. Might as well drink a potion while I'm at it. But, let's see. We're gonna finish the rest of this Tree of Whispers stuff. We got the Mire hideout. Let's go over there. It's not too far from the tree itself. I just want to get the cash from the Tree of Whispers. There's no reason not to get it. I could get something remarkable from the cash, or I could get nothing good at all, which is also a possibility. Then we will actually proc a nightmare dungeon and utilize our build to the fullest there. My character's my character's like, what? I don't know. I'm guessing all those red enemy icons are like some sort of other thing I should be doing in this area. It's probably like an essence harvest. This creepy dead ghost child over there. That's terrifying. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, let's go in here. I hope it's treasure goblins. I really do. Probably won't be. Yeah, destroy that. Destroy it. It's not treasure goblins. There's a cursed chest. I'm also getting more hits in with the single swipe of the claws as a result of how much quicker my attacks are. It's also why my energy is draining so fast. So in many ways, this is a billion times better than the axe. It's just a single normal hit can be a little devastatingly low. I have debated on getting the Grizzly Rage modifier that transforms me into a dire werewolf. I do have that modifier, but I don't have it equipped. It would mean I got rid of my Cataclysm, which I'm loving Cataclysm as an ability. It's just, if I get rid of Cataclysm, will that bork my build completely? I don't know. Cannot say. We did it. We only need one more point. Good, good, good. I'd say that the tree dailies are nice. They're really easy to complete. See, another really nice thing is, since I'm getting guaranteed crits, our Hurricane is guaranteed to crit. So we have this constant source of damage. There's just, it basically per hit is revving up the damage all of our other attacks are doing. It's amazing. Now, they're not very large crits, but it's the fact that it's proccing that other synergy to make them more vulnerable. 12% times increased damage. And say when we don't crit, it's bad. When our first few hits don't crit, that's when it gets a little embarrassing.
What?
Oh, my character's saying what because of the ghost girl.
I must wait a minute.
Keeps seeing the dead people in the swamp. It's very spooky. Super spooky. Let's build the energy.
I must wait a minute.
Sometimes some of the damage that you see is not always reflective of how much you're actually dealing as well. There's been reports of people hitting for 1 million, but yet barely doing any damage to an enemy. So what that means is they would have done 1 million, but then minus all the other... Oh, we got a doll. Minus all the other stats basically just ruins their 1 million. Basically says, you did nothing. Nothing. Okay, now we talk to the tree.
It is done.
What to get? Let's do rings. Sometimes you get a legendary cache, which is always nice, but did not. Ooh, but that's all very nice. I would like those nightmare sigils. I really would. I guess we'll drink that. We'll come back for that. Hopefully it doesn't vanish. It shouldn't, but... Why are children ghosts more terrifying than adult ghosts? I guess because people find them very creepy and unnerving. I guess they don't like being reminded that that too awaits, you know, even the most innocent among us. Well, that's right, you can't do that here. Oh, no. Well, I can sell a potion? Sure. Sell that potion for 1 gold. Sure. I mean, the 2 most terrifying horror movies I've ever seen with The Ring and The Grudge, and both ghosts are children. Well, yeah, so Samara is a child, but Kayako was an adult. It was her son. Her son that was a ghost. In fact, people in Japan found him far more terrifying than the mother. The original, you know, Ju-on, they did not like the son. He was far more scary than Kayako was. Of course, I'm absolutely petrified of Kayako. That is easily one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, and she freaks me out. She freaks me out bad. Damaging an elite enemy. We don't use that anymore. As nice as it is, we don't use it. Up to 17% chance when dealing lightning damage to overload the target. That's really weak. The ring is kind of good. How good, though? That's the question. Actually, it's grade A trash. It's a 611 item power. Never mind. This one is a 608, also grade A trash, but I do want this power from this. We're taking that power off there. That's a really good roll in comparison to the previous ones I've had. So we could do another Tree of Whispers, but I am going to instead consume a Nightmare Sigil. That's why I was, yeah, didn't even remember the mother. You didn't remember the mother. Yeah, so you're more freaked out about the kid. Yeah. The kid is kind of creepy. In Ju-on, the Japanese film, well, I mean, they're both technically Japanese films, but one is more Americanized. The original film, the son is kind of like a premonition of doom. So he technically exists before he's even born, and he is a cursed being. And effectively, his death will herald a everlasting curse. There's more to that than just that. Also, the original film is more about time travel begatting a curse begatting a curse. The ghost of Kayako is actually the main or a representation of the main character's life. So she's haunting herself, basically. It's really messed up. It's really messed up. And I'm sure there's even more cultural like implications to that. But as for the American version, it's very simple. And I say American version, but again, it's the same director, mostly, with Sam Raimi. The American version is literally just woman is killed because of a what you would consider a marital sin. And that rage that her husband felt poisons her, poisons everything around them, poisons the house, and then her own rage is amplified tenfold, and she becomes an onro, which is a literal embodiment of rage. They're one of the scariest Japanese ghosts you could ever imagine. They terrify the shit out of me. They're horrifying. Okay, so we want to salvage a sigil because we're running out of room fast. I really should put a lot of these away. We don't need anything below 5 anymore. Yeah, so tier 2, get out of here. Tier 2, get out of here. Tier 2, get out of here. Tier 4, get out of here. Okay, I'm going to use one now. Let's do a tier... Yeah, let's do a tier 10. Let's see how comfortable that is. Farrell's Den, that's a nice dungeon. I like that one. Okay. You can only have one Nightmare Dungeon active at a time, and I learned the hard way, do not use another sigil while inside of a dungeon. Because if you do, if there's any loot on the ground, you will lose it instantly. Also, it's a rogue thing. I don't really... No. I could get that later. I don't care for it right now. Haven't seen a Japanese one yet. Is it more or less terrifying, the American version? I think it's less terrifying because it gets more thought-provoking. But for the Japanese culture, it's... At least many would claim it's more terrifying. Probably because, again, it's thought-provoking. It tries to mess with your sense of reality. It really tries to mess with your sense of reality. I think the American version is the magnum opus, in my opinion. Some people may call me uncultured for that, but truly, the very first scene in The Grudge, you don't even see the ghost at the beginning. You hear the house, and then you subtly hear the death rattle, the crackling of her larynx, subtly in the background. That alone freaked me the F out. And then the grand reveal. And normally you shouldn't ever reveal the monster that early in a film, but it's the amount of reveal and that sudden jump scare that, oh god, did that hurt me. That hurt me. I had nightmares for weeks after watching that film in theaters. I was not prepared for how scary that was. And to this day, the sound alone drives me up a wall. It scares me to the ever-living heavens. Anything that even remotely resembles that. That's why Phasmophobia was so scary at the beginning. It's less scary now. They removed the death rattle sound. But it brings me to a very dark place when I hear that. And also the fact that it's a ghost that can appear anywhere at any time. You can't escape from Kayako. You can close your eyes, and she will appear behind your eyelids. Like, that's freaking freaky. Whereas the Japanese version of the film is more, like, more subtle. The Americanized version is like, oh, subtlety's out the window. Oh, by the way, that is the game lagging, because of how fast I'm attacking. Also, I do have to be careful. This is a tier 10 dungeon. Some enemies can still mess me up, such as these quilt rats. If they're advanced quilt rats, they'll mess me up. I don't like being frozen. Could I not be frozen, please? Thank you. No, we're talking about scary ghosts in Diablo. My god. There's hell gates. Nice. So we're kicking butt. We're taking names. I have to collect essences. That's good to know. I'd like this money. Thank you. It was a 15,000 overpower crit. This is not an overpower build, and yet I get overpowers quite frequently. I think werebeasts in general just have a higher aptitude for it. The werebear definitely more or less benefits, but I'm a werewolf and I'm still getting nice overpowers. That sound is so scary. Yeah. Oh wait, you know why I'm getting those crit overpowers? Because whenever I do overpower, I'm getting the guaranteed crit, so I'm doing more overpower damage than I would have ever been doing. Goodness.
Not ready yet.
Now, if you could splice a werebear build into this, can you imagine? The overpower. That is scary.
I'm low on storage. Not ready.
Now, here's another beautiful thing. Because we're getting guaranteed crits, our creeper, poison creeper, is constantly re-procking. The cooldown keeps getting reset. Because every time we crit, we have a chance to reset that ability. So we have more CC with the hand axe and the totem. See, there it is again. Sometimes it gets refreshed immediately. Yep, there it is again. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. And groups of enemies are no longer a problem with this build because whenever I kill something, even if it's really small, I just hit like a truck. I just stepped in a web. It's okay. Just a web. Just a web. I wonder if there's an item that makes you stronger or gives you more defenses every time you see a health globe. I know Diablo 3 had mechanics like that. The Necromancer could really benefit from that. Every time they see a health globe, they get like some sort of bonus when they touch it. So basically, health globes became a source of power. There might be a build like that. If there isn't, there will be.
Not ready.
Yeah, I do like the axe, the little axe, better than the big one. I think this power is quite amazing. Less big number immediate, but more big number over time, if that makes a lot of sense. And yet it's not an overtime build. It's a crit build. I've seen the Asian horror film that started the entire fashion of children ghosts and horror. It's called Whispering Corridors, 1998. It's quite great, not so scary either. That's the thing about horror, and I find fascinating. People will make a horror film, and it will not be remotely... It's the first of its genre, or the first of its kind, or it's just braving the waters, you know, of an already, like, saturated market. But it does something different. And after the fact, after that comes out, everything will be distinctly more terrifying than that ever was. Because people are still testing what makes people afraid. They're still testing that medium. They're trying to make the scariest film they can. So whereas people were like literally fainting from the original Wolfman back in the day, Universal Pictures at its height, you were to show them a film from today's world, they'd probably actually have cardiac arrest. Because they would have no ability to cope with what they were seeing on film. Even if they know it's a film, there's a level of believability with horror, because horror strikes a chord deep inside the person. It's as real to you as real danger. That's the whole point of horror. It elicits a fear response, an actual fight or flight mechanic. Whereas stuff like romance is supposed to tug at your heartstrings or morality, horror, honestly, is one of the most pure and honest film mediums I can think of, or even theatrical mediums. I love being afraid. You know, I love that fear. It's something we don't have enough of in our current world. I know that might sound weird to some people, but you need fear to feel alive. Fear is what drives you. It really hits something with The Grudge. Yeah, and I haven't felt that since The Grudge. And I'll also say the other sequels for the American version, they get less scary, but that's because they're trying to go towards a different story. So yeah, it's not going to hit home as much as the original Grudge did. Especially the finale. Holy crap, have I ever crawled over my seat before, literally reeling back in the theater from what I was seeing. I did not like that. It was very... I mean, I love it, but I did not like how uncomfortable it made me feel. And yet I adore it. I adore that sensation because no film to date has been scary. They even came out with a newer Grudge movie that was a continuation of the story in the world, but from a different angle. It was not scary. It was nothing compared to its predecessors. Hell, even the third film, which was, I will say, the weakest of the series, failed to capture some of that anxiety. It failed to capture the terror of the first, but the third film was probably better than the fourth film. The fourth film just did not understand the medium of which it was trying to uphold. It also hurt that the main ghost isn't even in the film. I mean, she is, technically. She's only in for, like, literally less than a second. There's this little short scene at the start, and that's all you get to see. Disappointing. It's worth watching the fourth film to see that world recapsulated, but it's not good. It's not good. I know it's only 443 gold, but I want it. It's my 443 gold. Destroy them. Destroy them, I say. Okay, we got a runestone here. We'll take that sapphire, please. I don't need those hide boots. Why did I pick those up? This I do not know. We're getting sigils, which is good. They should all be 10 and up, so I don't think we'll ever be doing 2s again. Whispering Court is about a ghost schoolgirl who just wants to keep being a normal student, so the ghost doesn't even have bad intentions. Yeah, see? Yeah, I mean, that could be creepy to some people, but it's not supposed to be necessarily absolutely terror. It's a different kind of horror. I mean, you can actually sympathize with that spirit a bit. I think that was the doom of the second Grudge, is that they tried to humanize Kayako. Although, they fail, thank God. Because ultimately you want the monster to be scary, you don't want to humanize the monster. If you humanize the monster, then it's not scary. We just want... I don't know how much health he had left, but we just want to shot him. Nope, I didn't mean to do it. That's the problem with this build. I kind of spam buttons and then, because I run out of energy so fast. Destroy him, destroy him. We gotta find the other runestone. I think we found it. It's over here. That guy explodes. I do not like when they explode. We do even more damage if an enemy is vulnerable. We have a lot of vulnerability synergies. I'm loving the build I made. I am truly, absolutely loving the build I made. Can it be better? Of course. Many times.
Wait a moment.
Why did I pop that? Okay, well, here we go. I really wish I hadn't popped it, because the boss is right here.
Just wait a minute.
Get him. Dead. Nice. Nice. That was a tier 10 dungeon. Easy as pie. We're gonna level that up. 4.4% increased critical strike damage. I also want to level Fulminate because we're gonna be using that next. 5 dex within range, you deal 2.4% increased lightning damage. That's going to be huge. And then all this, increased lightning damage to both healthy and injured. That is going to make our build incredibly stupid in the future. Put a little more into that. Good, 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 good. Very good. Okay. Always make sure you allocate all the XP you can get, because looking up here doesn't necessarily tell you. You want to make sure you get it all, otherwise you've wasted it. I don't even know there were sequels to The Grudge, only saw the first one. Yeah, I mean, they're worth watching. They are worth watching. The second film immediately follows the events of the first. Then the third one splinters off from one of the characters from the second film, and then incorporates a whole new cast. And then the fourth film is probably the most far-flung of the series. It follows another character who happens to encounter Kayako at a certain point. I guess the lessons of the fourth film are that they're once again hitting home of how bad the curse is. You only need encounter a little portion, a smidgen of this cursed home or anything or anyone involved with it. It's like a virus. It's kind of like we were talking about zombies. You encounter anything having to do with Kayako or her family, and you are utterly doomed. You are poisoned. Conclave, Witchwater. I hate Guron so much. I do not like Guron. Do not like Guron. Why? It's annoying. We're gonna do Skosglen again. I think Gul'ran is my least favorite dungeon. It's long. It's got annoying enemies as the levels go up. Both of my tier 16s were Gul'ran. Not fun.
Not while I'm in town.
The big cannibal bruiser guys can one-shot you. The huge bloated zombies, if they charge you head on, they'll kill you. It's not a good dungeon. I don't like it. At level 12, it's probably not a problem, but they were a problem. Are they scary? Not sure if my heart was still strong enough. So the second movie, it has some fear factors until the end. It's not so much of a stretch to say, it's not even really a spoiler to say this. Towards the end, the movie tries to humanize Kayako. And they're trying to do that because they want to give you hope that there's some solution to the curse. They're literally painting an image that there might be a way to break the curse. Unfortunately, things happen in the worst way imaginable that prevent this from happening, and the curse just once again propagates. And honestly, the way it happens really pissed off a lot of people. But it is a horror film. It's not supposed to end good, right? And the third film is the weakest. The scares are... They tried to be immediate with scares, and that's kind of where they lost it. Because even though the introduction to The Grudge is like this slow pan around a house, and you hear sounds, and then bam, there's the ghost, but it's really effective. They thought they could just do bam, there's the ghost, with no subtlety. I will tell you something about the third film. In the third film, there's a scene that's supposed to be terrifying, but it's actually kind of funny. Somebody is watching... No, was it watching television or... No. It was painting a picture. Suddenly it starts to bleed or pour whatever. Kayako immediately crawls out of this, rushes across the floor, and grabs the person and kills them. It is not well done at all. Also, the makeup was rather poor in the third movie. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I don't think it was directed by the same people either. Why is there poison? I'm guessing that's a modifier. Yeah, no. Oh, no, that's my poison. I create poison. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's just gonna further my poison synergy. Whenever there's poison, I deal more damage. Okay, I thought I was having to worry about that. Nope, it's my power. My power. I really hope there's no elite rats. There probably will be at least one. Yeah, so it says using evade leaves a pool of poison. Okay. Why do I always get cold enchanted enemies here? Cold enchanted cool rats suck because they will guarantee a freeze status on you, and then they can keep proccing those off you while you're frozen, and you can never get out. I'm glad the lightning bolt took care of it. Astaroth's demons. Ah! He tried to blow up on me. That would have been bad. Okay, that would have been bad. If you ever get a chance, it's worth watching those films. It's just... You want masterpiece, that's the first film you go for.
I'm not ready yet.
I thought for a moment his corpse was going to blow up. He can't do that, technically. He can't. I have to be reminded that he can't. I was a little concerned, though.
I must wait a minute.
Sometimes I move too fast for the game to register what's going on. It's a good thing. Okay, we can't open that just yet. I like the sound of that breaking.
I'm not ready yet.
Smash!
I'm not ready yet.
Speaking of such curses, have you seen It Follows 2014? Yes! And I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a very interesting way of making a horror film. Anxiety-provoking. A sexual-based haunting. A sexually transmitted haunting. Very interesting. In fact, they don't even say what it really is. It's just a thing that's as old as forever. And it's apparently been following people forever. That means there's always a group of people that this thing is hunting down forever. That is terrifying. And it can be anyone. And you can't see it unless you got it.
I'm not ready yet.
I would like to see a sequel to that. I think that movie deserves a sequel.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh god, I'm slowing the game down with how much shit I'm See, this build is very spammy.
I'm not ready.
You see how fast I'm getting abilities on. That alone is really valuable. It's just, yeah, I run out of spirits so quick. Simple and very effective. Yeah, see, that's... You don't need bells and whistles or special effects, really, to make a horror film. If you've got a premise that is terrifying as hell, and again, the point of horror is to put a person in a very uncomfortable mindset. You're trying to elicit that primitive, animalistic, like, fight or flight. That's a great way of doing it. It's like, this is a thing that you could have. You could already have this and you wouldn't know. Oh my god, you seen that person? Are they coming towards you? Why are they coming towards you? Are they saying anything? Are you looking? I've had events in my life. There's weird-ass people marching in my general direction. This is before it follows. So if you get skeeved out by that, the movie's gonna mess with you. It's gonna mess with you.
I'm not ready yet.
Makes you wonder. I had this guy following me around in public once. He wasn't saying anything. He was slowly walking towards me. This was in a supermarket. Everywhere I went. Now, let's chalk it up to, yeah, it's just your overactive imagination. But you see somebody deliberately walking towards you, and they're dressed like they don't belong, and then you start to get a little freaked out. It's like, everywhere I go, this person is making a turn in my direction. In my direction. It made me genuinely uncomfortable. This was years and years and years ago. So I hadn't a concept of a movie like it. I had nothing to draw that experience from other than this guy is genuinely creepy. Why are they looking at me dead on? Why are they approaching me dead on? Now, did anything happen? No. Literally, he would be following what I perceived as him following me around to the point that I actually left the store. I just dropped what I was doing and left. But he remained in the store. So yeah, it just happened to be coincidence. But that alone is terrifying enough. I mean, that's probably how they created the story of It Follows. They were like, you ever think about someone just deadpan following you around? What if that's been happening to multiple people? What if you're next? How does it spread? Who knows? Those are campfire stories that effectively transform into some of the biggest nightmares for some people. Very effective.
I'm not ready.
Come here, you. Give me all that gold. It's my gold. My gold, delicious gold.
I'm not ready.
Every lightning strike is it's so beautiful. I love it. I could get a better version of this axe too. That's the best part. Imagine. I really gotta focus one-handed axes on the Obel Trader, trying to get that better axe.
I'm not ready
Intricate levels. Or even the Tree of Whispers, if I get like a one-handed weapons collection cache, I gotta go for that.
Just wait a moment.
Nice. We were rewarded with stuff.
Just wait a moment.
Also, I like how powerful the uniques are in this. Like, the axes are unique, so we're seeing this really cool power associated with a single weapon.
Not ready.
It's refreshing to have a weapon that's worth its salt. It really is.
Just wait a moment.
I don't know what just happened. They died horribly. This room usually kills people. If I was a hardcore character right now, I think I'd be rather pleased with myself. We did good.
I must wait a moment.
Yeah, that room killed Bane. We were on a harder difficulty, and it happened. I have learned since then. It's a bad room. This room almost killed me just now. It's fine. It's those exploding guys. You have a countdown the second they show up before they explode and kill you. I think we got everything in here. Maybe. Possibly. Let's find out. Let us find out. Together. Yes, we did. Good. This dungeon was easy. We turned this... What tier is this? This was a 12, I think? Yeah. Oh, this guy summons minions. Brilliant. I don't think he's gonna get much of a chance, though. Yeah, he just did. Didn't matter. It didn't matter they summoned minions. Oh. Was that supposed to be hard? Apparently. So we're gonna get some... See, this is a difficult choice, what we get, but... We get the intellect because we have no choice. And then it's like willpower or dex. I think we get some willpower because we got a lot of dex elsewhere. We got a bunch of dexterity there. There's a bunch of willpower here. I would like... I don't care to go down here. I don't need that necessarily. Okay, so we're going to allocate XP. Nice. Very nice. Seen that red ring on the ground? I don't know what that's about. Okay. Actually, I said those ghost movies were the most terrifying we've ever seen. It's not true simply because ghosts aren't the most terrifying concept in horror. Well, that would be body horror. Yeah, body horror is terrifying because it's a little closer to the vest. If you don't believe in ghosts at all and you're skeptical, body horror is usually what might gross a person out or get them. Because even if you don't believe in ghosts, people are afraid of their own bodies. They're afraid of what could happen to their bodies. They're afraid of other people. They're afraid of the unknown, biology, or just other grotesque things. Like, The Mangler was not a film that I ever thought I would... I never saw the full movie, but as a kid, it messed me up. Nowadays, I guess I could watch it and laugh my ass off because it's really poorly made, but it messed me up because I saw this woman get dragged into a machine and turned into mist and paste. And as a child, that's not a film I ever want to see. I'd watch it again and laugh because I know it's cheaply made, but it was effective as a child. That's body horror. It's not about scary misfortune in a mill factory. No, it's by the way, this person's going to be reduced to, liquid. They're going to become paste in front of your eyes. Who will fall victim to the Mangler? Why did that even become a film? I'm sorry, that's not like... Yeah, it's Stephen King. We love the concept of this really... I'm going to break that down. I don't like Gulran. I hate Gulran. We're going to break down this... And this... Anything that says Gulran. Anything that says Gulran. We're going to make a film about a little excerpt that you made about a machine that's hella cursed, and the only thing that's going to happen is if people get close to it, they're going to get dragged inside and destroyed. How is that film-worthy? I don't know. I like the Langoliers. I know some people are like, Langoliers is dumb. No, actually, quite good. Quite good. I liked the Langoliers. I quite enjoyed it. Do we even go back to tier 10s or anything? Well, no, I think we go to tier 10s because I don't want to go to 16 just yet. 16 is still very scary. You don't have access to Onyx Hold. Are you serious? Pardon my French. Why don't I have access to Onyx Hold? Where is Onyx Hold? I don't know. I don't even watch a movie in that genre. I couldn't even watch the movie. Simple idea, it exists, freaks me enough. Well, yeah, I mean, there are machines that people die horrible deaths in, and it's not fun. Not a good thing to think about. But I guess that's where that freaks people out in terms of body horror. The Thing, however, is science fiction about an organism that can infest every cell in your body, becoming your cells. to the point that you're not you and you're just a copy. And that's terrifying as fuck. That is horrifying. I think the Thing is actually one of the most perfect movie monsters ever designed. And there's Kayako, the ghost, the most perfect movie ghost ever designed. Which is funny because Kayako is based on a actual supernatural ghost. So that terrifies the shit out of me because I believe in the supernatural, and that exists in my world. Okay, that was weird. I just got yoinked. I am a yo-yo. Whee! But as for the Thing, in terms of science fiction monstrosities, that is... Hello? Okay, we're getting some hella lag. I don't know if it's the build or I'm killing the server. I don't know. We'll find out. Blizzard literally shuts me down and says, hey, by the way, you're causing lag. Oh, that's the butcher! If you're gonna do anything amazing, do it now. Oh, don't push me into the darkness. Okay, I've never fought the butcher on this high difficulty. I don't know how this is gonna go. Oh boy, that darkness sucks. I have no protections, by the way. We're gonna rely on pure skill. Oh! He kills us. We lose him. Okay. Nope. Let me go. Oh! He can do that now? That is really bad. Oh, no. No. Nope. I don't like being out in the open like that because I know he's just gonna charge me. I forgot the butcher existed. I can't read the comments right now. I'm so sorry. Do that damage! Oh my god, though. We kick his ass. I mean, he hurts, but that damage that we do. Slow me. That's fine. Oh no, go in the bubble. What the hell's wrong with you, Garrett? We won. Oh, Butcher's Trophy Cleaver! Ooh! Ooh! Oh, we could put it on our mount. I'm totally doing that. What did he drop? Garbage? Garbage. He dropped actual shit except for the trophy. You know, I'm proud of myself, though. We just killed the Butcher with our amazing build, so this proves to me that this is, in fact, the way. I had nightmares for weeks after seeing the trailer of a film called Tusk. Oh, but that was a comedy, though. I mean, it is kind of messed up in body horror terms, but it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be a horror comedy. It's like you're thinking there's more to this film as you're watching it, and then the finale is the most ridiculous thing anyone's ever seen. But I can see where that could skeeve some people out. I'm not one to judge like what terrifies a person. I mean, I'm scared of a ghost, and there's people like, "Ha, ghosts!" I'm just laughing the whole time. Again, it comes to believability. What you are scared of, what you believe. Well, we killed that. Shit, that's right, we can't attack them when we're outside the bubble. They can't attack us inside of our bubble. This guy's relatively strong. And he's toast. He's toast. Okay, so I've just proven to myself, by the way, the Butcher can die by my hand, solo. I'm super happy this build works. In fact, 10 times better than any of my other renditions or fights against him. Okay, that werewolf, though, he sucks. He sucks. Oh my god. Oh, wow, he hurt. Oh, he hurt. There's another one. This is a cold tempest. And our lightning just nuked him. Yeah, lightning's the way to go. Whenever I think about switching to the Grizzly Rage werewolf modifier, then I hit them with lightning and I realize it's a bad idea. Let's just keep with what we have. The problem is if Shred doesn't kill them, I don't get that permanent modifier. It's the only caveat with how much damage we deal otherwise. Yeah, see right there, I couldn't get the modifier because we didn't slay them with Shred. There, we got it for a brief second. Let's go over here. The thing didn't freak me out as much, though, because I imagine your conscience isn't there anymore. Well, no, it does. Yeah, you're right. Your conscience isn't there. It's pretending to be you at that point. You get... Well, what freaks me out about the thing is that during the process of its takeover must be the most painful, horrific experience. Every cell of your body is becoming... Have you ever, like, had a really bad fever, and you felt like actual crap? Like, you feel like, you know, this is the end for me. I imagine that's what the takeover is like, only far more painful. As is, you know, the expressions of its victims. Your body is being robbed, being stolen. And the return to the series, the, what's the word? The prequel movie, they showcase a person merging with the thing against their will. And they're screaming, and they're horrified. And they just want to die. They want to die. I can imagine it is just one of the worst ways to go in a science fiction film. Like Alien, at least in Alien, this thing crawls out of you and kills you. It's done. Like, it's done faster than you can think. But the thing, you're alive for the entire process. You are witness to the entire process.
I must wait a moment.
Well, that's terrible. This really skeeves me out. Like, it skeeves me out bad. I do not like that. And yet it makes for one of the most perfect science fiction monsters I could name as a result. Uh-oh! Oh, that did a lot. Okay. Figured it was going to hurt, but I didn't figure how much it was going to hurt until it did. It's fine, we win, we win. We killed it, we killed it, we killed it. The fact that Tusk is a comedy is even more terrifying. I think people are messed up enough in their head to find that funny somehow. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Well, okay, look at Devil's Rejects. Devil's Rejects is a comedy. It's classified as a comedy horror. It is funny. It is witty. And it is grotesque. It is vile. It is supposed to be offensive to a lot of people. And yet, it's funny. It is arguably one of the funnier films that came out of that era. Not something you should take the family to see, mind you. It's fucking awful, but it's considered a comedy. And that's just, again, that comes down to the way it's written, the presentation of it. It is so over the top, it is overly gratuitous, that it's comedy. I mean, Rob Zombie, he may not be the best director in the world, not even by far, but he actually has a genuinely twisted but humorous sense of, you know, humor. Haven't seen that? I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. It's just if you want to see a different slant on humor, it's closer to Tusk in that respect. It's not body horror, but it's definitely uncomfortable. It will start out really wrong. It will start out really hard. And then you'll start seeing those motes of just elegantly wrong humor. Like obscenely misplaced humor that make it truly unique. I wouldn't say, though, it's a movie for everyone, because, again, people are going to see the scene where a guy sticks a gun somewhere it probably shouldn't go, and immediately walk out of the theater, or immediately just say, yep, that's it, I'm thumbing down this movie, I hate it. Oh, yeah, I respect that, I understand that. But there's one-liners that are just so iconic. There are just moods or scenarios that are written in. Like, the bad guys having like a Lando Calrissian moment with other bad guys, only to get absolutely effing betrayed, and then be really butthurt about it and start arguing about something that has nothing to do with the circumstances they're in. It gets into these wild scenarios And then, of course, the end of the movie, you know exactly what's going to happen. You see it happening in live time, and you're like, no, they can't think this is a good idea. It wasn't a good idea, and of course it ends exactly like you think it's going to end. It's just... That's comedy. That is actual comedy in action. It's like you're seeing these people that think they're the most badass beings on the planet, and they get utterly, you know, taken for a ride. And that's what's comedic about it, in its own twisted way. Do they deserve it? Yes, of course they do. They absolutely deserve everything they get, because they're not heroes. The fact that they're painted as heroes. I remember there was an article, someone was like a writer was really upset at the very fact that the movie even tries to portray them as heroes. It's like, no. They're trying to portray them as heroes for the audience to laugh at. That's the point. It's comedy. It's humor, because they are not heroes. They are murderers. The Devil's Rejects is about a bunch of psychopaths. It's a continuation of House of a Thousand Corpses, which was a terrible movie, by the way, but again, that same twisted humor tries to peek its head around the corner. I wouldn't say Death Becomes Her, spoke about it previous stream, is a horror comedy, but I would recommend it. Yeah, I have not seen that. I've heard of it, not seen it. There's a lot of movies I have just not seen. I love cinema. I absolutely love cinema. I love movies. I love theater. But there's a lot of stuff I will admit I've never even watched. And I really should. I've never seen Footloose, and I know some people are like, oh, it's a great film. Jokingly, it's a great film. I don't know if it's bad or good. I just know that Travolta hits a soprano from which there is no return. Like, I genuinely thought that was a woman singing that song. No, it was mostly Travolta. It still boggles my mind that he could hit such a pitch. Unless it isn't him, and everyone thinks it's him. I don't know. Good on him. That shows a level of talent I'll never possess. Vocal talent. Don't really have strong thoughts about Travolta the band, but, you know, great acting talent. Okay, this person is sad. We're gonna help them. We must help the sad ghost. Apparently I've been doing this quest wrong, even without trying to do it wrong. You're supposed to kill these as fast as humanly possible, and I couldn't do it before. Let's see if I can actually do it this time. I've been able to do it a few times off camera now. They don't give you a lot of time. We did it. Okay. Everything is just pudding now. Yep, here we go. Such power! You are dead! I have destroyed you. Yes, we can't pick up any more stuff here. Honestly, if it's not a totem,
I'm not ready yet.
I don't care to go back for it. We're still not done with the dungeon, though. See, I need a totem. I need better totems. The totem we have is pretty good, but it could be better. If I can get a 700 plus totem, that'll definitely make up for some of the bonuses we may be missing. Because the higher the item level, the higher the stats can go.
I'm not ready yet.
Further, 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 further. Let's go. Into the pit. Ah, yes. The Den Mother. Ah! Kill them. Okay, I would like these. I truly would. We're gonna come back for them. Ooh. Nice, nice, nice. Feels good to do that well. Ugh. Okay. Let's break down some of these materials, or we could sell them. I think we're gonna break them down. Been using a lot of materials very quickly. We're looking mostly at totems. That is garbage. Let's see, we want something that's over that amount. 674, that's closer, but that's not quite there. Yeah, no, none of that's good. Pulverize, shockwave, I don't use that. I've seen people use that, it's pretty cool, but basic skills grant 20% damage reduction. I don't care. That could be valuable, but I don't see it as particularly valuable.
Not while I'm in town.
Let's put our gems away. Go back to the portal. We'll grab the stuff, including the glyph. We'll head on back. Now, I have no idea when I'll be able to tackle the new capstone dungeon. There is another capstone dungeon that increases the game to tier 3. I did attempt it when I was level 59, and I was able to more or less breeze through the enemies. That's where I got that axe, by the way. I was able to more or less breeze through the enemies, getting to the boss, which is a shade of Elias. I almost said Ezekiel. Elias. Elias, unfortunately, I got him to 25%, but his fireballs will one-shot me. And I was even lucky to get him to 25% health. I don't know how I managed to get him to 25% health, but I did my first try, and then I got one-shotted. Then I tried the second time, and I did a lot worse. So, yeah, I'm not ready for that just yet, but I felt pretty good about pushing my builds to its limits there. Bit conflicted about the horror genre. I love the ideas they can have in the mythology it creates sometimes, but I hate screamers. LOL. Oh no. You're talking about like the genre where it's relying on actors and actresses just yelling and screaming in abject horror. I think those are a product of the 80s and 90s, more or less. They've somehow survived lingering into today's world, but they're not good. Yeah, we don't really need that. What I like is something that's more well thought out. Of course, I love zombies. I love ghosts. I love unique science fiction horror. I could try to get another axe. Yep, wasn't gonna happen. The chances of getting a sacred from this person are far less, just far less likely than you'd care to imagine. Because you're having to roll through multiple item sets. So you're rolling from a normal item, you know. Well, first of all, you're rolling from normal rarity to magic rarity to rare rarity. Then you're rolling all three of these as sacreds. You're then rolling from normal legendaries to sacred legendaries. And then you get to the unique tier. And then there's the sacred uniques. So our chances of getting this axe, although a little bit better because we're rolling the singular item, are still significantly poor because of how rare this is. Also, all these other axes we picked up are actual trash, so we can junk them. Let's junk them. And bingo, got it. We did not accidentally sell our axe. No, good. Because if I did that, I'd be rather just crass. But what? Where? 1 second. Sorry, I'm back. Hello. Sorry. Everything's fine. Okay, so we're going to go and... Honestly, everything below 10, because we're so good at what we did, anything below 10 is just a given.
Magic in all things.
Honestly, 10's a given at this point. Like how you could just get rid of all of them. Okay, we break that down. We break you down. Break that down. Break that down. Or anything that says Guran, because I just don't like Guran. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay. I was checking all of them. So we're going to do a tier 12 Malwood. I find it so valuable to do the Nightmare Dungeons for that experience for glyphs. Oh, you mean the jump scares. Okay, you mean the jump scares. Well, it depends on how they do the jump scares. That makes them good. Makes that medium valuable. I feel if you're doing jump scares for the sake of doing jump scares, that's not what you should be doing with your film. Rather, you should be trying to play into a person's actual fears. That's where all the good films we mentioned get their strength from. They try to make you uncomfortable. They try to mess with your sense of reality or safety. If you are making a film worth its salt, you have to put your viewer in an uncomfortable state of mind. That is how you do effective horror. That's how you get your point across. Likewise, a good sci-fi adventure needs to inspire curiosity, questions, many questions, awe, and wonder, and a little bit of terror. I know some people probably have their own take on this, but I think that Interstellar was one of the best standalone science fiction movies in a long time. And there's many others that are in the same category. I say it's one of the best. One of the best. Why? It deals with time travel, which is insanely fascinating. Insanely fascinating to me. I love time travel. And the fact that it deals with time travel on its truest standard, the only real way we have of measuring time travel is distance. And that's what Interstellar does. It is a time travel movie, but not in the sense that it's like, oh, some genius built a time. No, it has nothing to do with building a time machine. It has to do with distance, which is a quantifiable fact in astrophysics. It's dealing with relativity based on distance. And that is just, again, really fascinating shit, especially when it's a science fiction, adventure in its own right. They're doing stuff in space. They're going on a quest. They're trying to complete a mission. There are betrayals. There are new adventures, new sort of discoveries. And it's all done in this quite lengthily, well-made movie that also has a reason for the entire thing existing. It's not just like, oh, the next generation, we're going out there to catalog shit and make peace treaties. It's not like Star Trek, and I know some people like Star Trek. I don't. But it's like, oh, the planet's dying. We need to figure out a solution. Maybe the solution is contacting aliens that we think are real because we have evidence. And then it gets spirals out of control to this really cool, awestruck moment. And I love it. I love it. It's a great movie. I think it's a fantastic movie. Is it perfect? No film is truly 100% perfect, but it's quite well done. I don't know if you've ever seen Interstellar, but it is worth watching. If you're feeling in a spacey mood, like space travel mood, definitely worth it. In fact, I may watch it again, do another little mini marathon of space movies just before Starfield comes out, just to get in the mood. I'm excited for Starfield. It's coming out this September. I'm loving this build. I know I've said that many times, but I'm loving it.
I'm not ready.
So I'm kind of hoping I can get that 90,000 to appear again. I'm really hoping I can get that 90,000 hit to appear, and I can have actual proof that it exists. I swear I saw it. Whether or not it calculated damage properly, I don't know. We'll find out. It's probably trapped? No, it's not. Nice. Bless me. Can't type anymore. Keyboard is rebelling. No! I see that runny. I like it too, for different reasons. What I like in sci-fi is outer space exploration. Well, it's got that, definitely. I'm more into the distance aspect of the film than its time travel. Well, see, that is the time travel. That is the time travel. The distance... See, that is factual time travel. That is our real quantifiable truth in our real world here. As far as we can even remotely determine, time travel is a one-way trip forward. It's only forward. We're seeing the past because it's so far away and light has yet to travel to us. Interstellar, this is not a spoiler to people who haven't seen Interstellar, but again, it factors in real limitations. With fantastical, you know, events. Obviously, we don't have a ship that can go that far or that fast. Obviously, we don't actually know what would happen if you tried to ride a black hole. Obviously, we've never been contacted by aliens as far as we can actually say for certain. I say for certain because I don't know either. No one truly knows. But the fact of the matter is, when you see a star, you are seeing the past because you are so far away. There is a bit of time distortion because of the distance. The distance it takes for the light, the image, the very image. Light is nothing more than an image. So you're seeing an image. And if you had a powerful enough telescope, if you had a powerful enough lens, you could see the surface of that star and or planet. You could see yourself. In fact, there's a theory you could see yourself bended across time, space, and the light from the reflection of the edge of the universe. You could see yourself at different moments in your existence on the face of Earth. That is another theory, that you could travel to the past, present, or future via going far enough. And I'm actually a firm believer that that might be reality, because as we start to itch the mystery of the universe and the expanse, we start to find some really weird, wonky quantum physics shit. I think all of our existence is nothing more than a giant manifold just wrapped around itself, split into billions of almost like gargantuan cosmic atoms. That's what I believe the universe is. I believe, and I don't remember the exact name for it, but I think one of the names was probably bubble theory. I don't know if that's real, the name, but basically the universe, the end of the universe, the edge of the universe, because of how large it is and the gravitational forces within and around it, bends itself into multitudes beyond reckoning. In fact, almost pretty much for infinity. Again, I don't know the proper terminology for what that theory is called, but basically think of a marble next to a marble next to a marble next to a marble next to a marble forever. And that's us. That's everything. Everything you will ever know and ever could know. And if you were to travel far enough, fast enough, you could reach any moment in time in those multitudes. If that makes any sense. If you can fathom that, that's only the precipice of what that movie encapsulates. But I firmly believe that that might actually be our reality. It makes sense to me. I don't believe in time travel nor the multiplicity of universes. Nor do you have to. I'm stating that that's what I firmly believe that that's a possibility. Because the way that we're seeing gravity bend in space is leaning towards some kind of very strange behavior when you stretch distance far enough. Whether or not that itself is just a reflection or another mystery we don't even fully understand. And I don't think we are going to understand. Not anytime soon, at least. I don't even think mankind is going to get far enough to unravel mysteries of space. Interstellar is just a really cool science fiction film that explores relativity and also causality. Because you have to think about the what-ifs with time travel. You have to think about, if you don't do this, if you do this, how does that impact what already is or what will be? It's like, there is no free will when you look at Interstellar, because you've already made the choice of the illusion of free will to do something, and it ultimately leads to the path it was always going to lead to because it's already happened. But yet it hasn't happened, at least for you. That's why time travel is fascinating to me, because I think it is amazing. Well, we went from horror talk to intellectual science fiction stuff. I'm on a roll tonight. That's a fear bomb. I don't like fear bombs. No. Yeah, we got a lot of shutdown on this build. It's amazing. As long as we kill an enemy with that shred, we just keep those lightning crits up. It's amazing. Believe there's more than what we've discovered yet, though whatever that is, that terminology like dark matter and dark energies is a filler for everything we don't know yet. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The same thing they say, any discernibly advanced technology is akin to magic, as they say. And that's also a hard truth. It's like anything you don't quite understand the science of something, people of lesser cultures would call magic, or, you know, faith, or something. And I don't disbelieve that there's any higher powers. I mean, I clearly believe in the supernatural, but I also believe the supernatural has its own order in the natural. We call it the supernatural because at the moment we have nothing to really compare it to naturally. Again, is the whole... Ooh, we just completed the dungeon. Okay. I didn't realize I completed the dungeon. Interesting. Can I kill this man? He's got some armor.
Not ready yet.
He's a tough boy. If we didn't have this shield here, we could be in for a bit of a fight. I do want to kill them. At least the enemies in our vicinity. We don't have to explore the entire dungeon. We've already completed it. But I want this stuff. Okay, there. We did it. Spirit, yes. Nice. We're doing good, we're doing good. Very good. Yeah, we use the terminology dark matter, dark energy, very sporadically, very loosely. We're all still learning what the world is about. And I fear with the current state of the world, we're losing that sense of wonder about what's around us or what's around the corner, what we could do rather than what we are doing. I mean, look at the... I hate to be a broken record, but you look at the current state of the atmosphere in the world. Years ago, our world's governments finally came to terms with global warming and global, like, imminent failure on a environmental level. Our own wrongdoing. And then they promised and they said, we're going green, we're gonna fix it. What have we seen in the past 5 years since then? We have seen nothing more than, yeah, that forest is burning down, so you know what we need to do? We need to harvest all the trees, the burned ones and the healthy ones around it. Let's just stabilize the shit out of that environment. This happened with the Amazon rainforest. We had a massive wildfire in the Amazon rainforest a few years back, and what did all the world's governments do? The second that happened, rather than put out the fires or try to replant, they then sent in every logging company they could think of. They displaced an indigenous people. Even threats were made, wars, a miniature little war. I don't even know if that's still going on. And they took control of that region. and just deforested everything they could. This is a massive loss to the entire world, because it's the Amazon rainforest. It's where a great deal of oxygen is produced. I'm not an environmentalist in any sense of the word, but I see stupidity in action, and I can't believe that I live in the same planet with these people. So they decided this was a great excuse to deforest the rest of the Amazon as much as they could get away with. In fact, they're probably still doing it now. Now we have a wildfire in Canada. Mark my words. Their first action is going to be to send in every logging company they can. Everyone who has an invested interest in free, cheap wood. They're going to go in and say, it's good for the environment that we kill all these trees. They're going to deforest, displace, destroy. Again. And what has this done for the environment? Nothing good. Fires are natural, but when you then remove trees, saying the excuse for removing the trees to prevent future fires, what you're actually doing is just harming the environment for the sake of greed. I despise what big logging companies and oil companies are doing. And then the oil companies are like, oh god, our oil! Let's not only hurt the economy by driving up oil prices, because we feel threatened, but also let's make new oil locations, also helping out the logging company. It's really messed up. And by the way, our ozone is far worse than it was years ago. We haven't gone forward, we haven't gone past this, we've only gone backwards. I don't think they'll succeed at keeping the elevation of temperatures at a reasonable level. Yeah, they're higher. They're higher than they were. And we were told, we're going green, we're fixing this, we're doing this for you. No, you're not. No, you're not. They don't move fast enough. Yeah, I'm quite pessimistic about that too. Yeah, it's sickening. It's sickening. I'm watching this happen. In my generation, I went from knowing deep snow winters and calm, quiet, starry nights to cloudy skies 24/7 and hot summer-like temperatures at the start of winter. Getting a very late, brief winter. That is a noticeable change. Noticeable. And I live in the north. I don't live the furthest north, but when I'm being told Antarctica is showing bare skin, like literally Antarctica, this perma-frozen landscape, is now showing on the mountains and coastal regions a lot of rock, and most of those ice, flows are vanishing, and habitats are being utterly destroyed, let alone, the North Pole barely ceasing to exist half the year. That's bad. That's really bad. Same here. Yeah. I get really angry about it. I get really angry, and there's nothing I can do. I can say anything I want here, and it won't matter. It won't solve anything. Because even if you're Greta, you can't convince these idiots that they need to change. You'll say things, and everyone will applaud you, but no one has the power to stop them except them. You have money, you have tons of people, and you have machinery. You basically own the world. They already do. And they're only thinking about the now, they're not thinking about the future. Was it Montana? A bunch of students in schools are actually suing. Was it Montana? I think it's Montana. They're suing their state. Good for them. They're suing their state for not providing a assured, safe, and healthy future for their generation and future generations. I hope they win. Sue that state. Seriously, more schools should band together. More college kids should band together. Entire families should band together and start suing their states for that. They should. They have the right to say, we deserve a healthy future. Now, if you play by their rules, if you play by our government's rules, and you sue the crap and you win consistently, they don't like to lose money, so they'll learn their lesson, hopefully, be like, yeah, this is bad for business. Of course it's bad for business, you're killing the planet. I don't know. I normally don't talk about activism, but when it comes to my world that I live in, and despite me being agoraphobic and being terrified of going outdoors because of people, I would like to see, blue skies. I would like to have non-acidic rainfall. I would like to have winters, actual winters. I don't like seeing the writing on the wall that there will be no future for mankind. We're seeing more and more of these science fiction horror even, reflecting around no breathable air. In fact, there was a series I watched called Black Knight, and it's a Korean series, science fiction, about a world where the air got so polluted, so messed up from a natural disaster, that the people can't exist outside without choking to death. And there's many others that have come out in recent years. Now, what have I said about horror? Mostly horror films reflect the common fears of the generation. I've said this a few times over in other streams when I talk about the horror genre and things. You are trying to capture the mood of a generation. You're trying to capture what fears people have. People are afraid of war, typically be alien movies. If you're afraid of monsters, actual monsters, it's about finding new fauna and plants and suspicious viruses that you've never seen. This is how horror works, and same with science fiction. It's always the curiosities of that era, the curiosities of the generation. So we're seeing a lot of stuff revolving around choking on the air. And that's because people have this on their mind. Where is our future? What is going to happen to our environment, our ozone layer? Are we going to become the next Venus? Because Venus, at one point, apparently was much like Earth. As far as we can tell, it could have been another Earth-like planet, but something horrible happened millennia ago, and that planet is doomed. Also, it's really close to the sun, so, I mean, there you go. You need another reason to incentivize the people to act now and protect the environment. Look at Venus. Venus is an acidic planet. It is incredibly hot. It is incredibly acidic. There is no air. There are no plants. It is hell. It is literally hell. There's your incentive. Save Earth, please. Good God. We don't get another chance at this. We don't have another home. He laughed, but he didn't transform. He's supposed to transform. Okay. That's a bug. I'm supposed to fight him. I guess I'm gonna leave him there. We still got the chest. Maybe I killed him so fast he didn't have a chance to respawn. The worst part is that the change is exponential. Yeah, more like the more ice will melt, the quicker it will rise the temperature because there's less white surface to reflect the sunlight back away. It'll also, it will also cause a change in current temperature, which, you know, The Day After Tomorrow is a fictional movie, but it's looking more and more like a reality. You can have some disastrous results when global warming takes into account, when the currents change in the oceans. You can have another ice age. And yeah, that sounds good, because it's like, oh, well, then the world will get colder. It'll get so cold, it'll kill us off. And then it'll get really warm again. And, you know, we're not here anymore, so what was the point? It's not going to be a good thing. When you reach that level of no return, the planet needs to recalibrate. And she's going to recalibrate no matter who thinks otherwise. It's called a hard reset. It's a planetary hard reset. And it will happen. And even if it doesn't get to the point of another ice age, the hard reset's going to be bad. I mean, if we rip the ozone enough, it won't get to that point. We'll just die. We will just die. There was another film. I watched it. It was also a time travel film. I forgot the name of it, but basically effectively what we're seeing now. People strained the atmosphere so much with their pollution that ozone ripped open, and there is literally like weeks left before the atmosphere itself collapses. And the guy goes into the future and discovers the world has hard reset, except everyone is dead. They've been dead for a very long time. I think it was like several thousand years into the future. And he's like, wow, everything's good. There must be people. Nope, not a single soul. Everyone's gone. It's like, yeah, everyone is gone. Don't remember the name of that movie, but it was okay. It was okay. Anyway, sorry about my little environmental rant, but yeah. I guess it factors in the grand sum of what we're talking about. Talking about what fears can do to a person, what motivates a person, whether that's science fiction movies, horror films, or the very stark reality of all these things coming together. I mean, what's more terrifying than ghost stories? Your actual world is freaking horrifying. And anyone who thinks otherwise, quite frankly, needs to take a moment, breathe in that air, and see what's actually happening in front of them. Sounds like an interesting movie. It was interesting. It wasn't perfect. I'm not a fan of... Okay, so I love time travel, as I'm saying, and this was a time travel movie, but I'm not a fan of people inventing their own time travel anymore. Like, back in the days of Back to the Future is acceptable because it was a new concept people were trying to, rally with. But it was people who usually wrote this stuff that didn't actually listen to Einstein or didn't actually take into account anything else that was remotely scientific. Back to the Future is not how time travel works. Technically, how time travel would work is whatever you do in your future is your new future, no matter if it's the past. Therefore, anything that's happened in the past is the past, because it has already happened. You can't undo what has happened in the past, because it's already taken place. So therefore, if you're the one who's time traveling, and you do something in the past, that is your future, because it always was. It is where you will always go. It is your ending. It is the finality of your actions. Even if it isn't your total ending, you can come back. It is what happened in your future, but therefore was the past. So if you see a picture of yourself in an old-ass photograph, yes, it has happened. And then if you're told, Marty, that you're going to have your brains blown out at a saloon fight in the Wild West, guess what? There's no solving that, because that has already happened. There's no magic remedy to fix it, because it has already taken place. And I find great problems with movies, and this film in particular that I was talking about, that I don't remember the name, is like, oh, well, but if I do this differently, I'll change everything. No, you won't. And then there's another theory for that you create an alternate reality. But I don't think necessarily you can create an alternate reality as much as it already has happened, because you're already in the reality that you're in. You can't just make an action knowingly and switch the gears. It's already taken place somewhere else. The reality you're in is kind of fixed. So being fixed, being stuck where you are, you have to take into account where your future leads. In another reality, you never time travel. In another reality, when you time traveled, you saw something different in the past. A different outcome took place. There is no switching that. There is no changing that. You have to just come to terms with it and accept it. Choosing to take your future into your own hands, thinking there is free will, doesn't happen in time travel terms, because it's already taken place. You cannot defy physics. You cannot defy what has happened. Saying, oh, I'm not gonna hit my head on that door, that really, really inconveniently placed, door, on that day and that time, and you try to avoid that building with that door, only to find that that wasn't even the damn building you were looking at. You go in to meet with somebody, you slam your head against that door, turns out, whoop-de-doo, it was the wrong door you were looking at the whole time. You were fixating so hard, you didn't realize you were walking into destiny, quite literally. Or not getting hit by the car that you were warned about. Everyone warned you about the car, and you still met it. You still met it, because it was going to happen. It was always going to happen. Yeah, a little cryptic with that, but that's the whole point. Alternate realities are impossible because it's the most ontologically heavy hypothesis ever. No, I don't believe they're impossible. I believe it's impossible that you, as a human being, could believe your actions would create one. Because when you say, doing this now will create an alternate reality, I'm sorry to tell you, but exactly the way you're thinking has already created billions and trillions of alternate realities. I do believe alternate realities are possible because every act predates a level of intention, unintentional or otherwise. That makes sense. And if you are thinking, okay, I'm going to go not get a drink of Coca-Cola right now to refill my parched throat. It has already happened where I haven't in billions of ways. And guess what? This is the reality where I get up and I fill my drink. I'll be right back. Case in point. So case in point, I just came back from refilling my cup with soda. The direct result of that is now I have less soda than I had, and I'm going to have to go shopping a little bit sooner than I imagined because now I'm down to less than a half a bottle. If I had not gone up to get the soda and I chose to have water instead, sure, I'd be a little bit upset. Maybe the water isn't what I wanted. I didn't create either of those realities. Any of those realities. Those possibilities always existed. They always happened. This is the moment where I decided I wanted the drink. I gave in because I wanted it. So I have it. How would they be great if they were possible? That's the beauty of time-space. So people try to think of time as a straight line, but that's not how time works. Because if you think time is a straight line, then you kind of can mold that theory to whatever explanation you want. In reality, time is more likely more of a sphere, an expanding sphere, or a wavelength even. It can be anywhere and any size, anywhere. I'm using the same word because I don't know many other fancy words for it. You can't... It's not point A to point Z. It's not the beginning of time to the end of time. Our chronological order does not make sense. It can't make sense because if it is, you could justify virtually any sort of physics-bending mechanisms. It doesn't work with the rest of these other theories. And these theories are usually grounded on, like, a lot of much more intelligent people, much better well-spoken... See, I'm not very well-spoken. I read some books on it. It's really fascinating shit, but ultimately, don't think of time as a straight line. Try to think of it as something that can ebb and flow. Because when you apply the theory of time travel and how time-space works, it ebbs and flows, and there is a point where something is beyond time. There is a point where something can be beyond time, and therefore, that's where the what-ifs take place. That's where the... How the fuck... Oh, yeah. We go here. Oh, we're already here. Okay, let's go there. That's where the... possibility of multiple realities can, in fact, take place. But again, theory. All of it's theory, because we have zero proof that it exists. However, I like to be reminded of something called synchronicity. Now, synchronicity is when things in the universe seem to line up or become too familiar. Synchronicity is when, and I literally had an example today with my friend Keto. Unfortunately, I do not have it recorded because it was just before the stream. But I was talking about a hypothetical situation in a joke about a person called Darren. I was saying, yeah, let's blame Darren. Let's blame this character Darren. I literally just came up with the name on the spot. Darren. Darren the asshole. No sooner had I said that, I tuned into Tomato Gaming on Twitch while talking to Keto. And I enjoy Tomato streams. He's a really fun guy, really awesome. Also a deep thinker, surprisingly. He is playing a game called Exanima, and there's a character called Darren, and he immediately shouts out the name Darren. There is no way I could have known that Tomato was playing that game, and that he would announce the name Darren. I had just used Darren, the name, an asshole, as an example. Here's Tomato blaming this asshole Darren. Now, I know some people will say you're only seeing what you want to see. You're only seeing the patterns of what you want to see. But that's the thing about synchronicity. Sometimes it's a little bit more on the nose. Why do I have 10 out of 11? Oh, yeah, because I have 11. That's right, I claimed that. So, yeah, maybe that's me just seeing a pattern. It's a damning pattern, though. But then there's moments where you're talking with someone you've never met, and you'll both say the same thing at the same exact time, with very little hint or forewarning about what they're going to say. And then other people say, oh, well, it's just you're seeing what you want to see. It's like, synchronicity is... I'm sorry, but I think it's a real thing. It's too uncanny. It's too on the nose. It's odd. It's weird. So synchronicity itself might be, in fact, kind of a multiple reality situation. Maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe it has nothing to do with it. Maybe it doesn't exist. But it has its own name. It has its own theorem about it. And it often plays into multiple realities. So, the thing is, when people say, well, I'm the only me that could ever exist, I disbelieve that. There are many moments and many times I can see where I would be, or what I would have done, or what could have happened to me. I mean, there's probably multitudes of realities where I never existed, because when I was born, I was injured. I was born injured, and I had to be taken to the ER. Is there a version of me that was never injured? Does that mean I'm a better person because I didn't have the problems that would lead to a spiral of sickness and injury in the rest of my life? A version of me that doesn't have a scar, you know, on the inside and out. Is there a version of me that led a more important life? Did I choose to do something instead of dreaming about it? I wanted to be a fireman when I was really young. I'm dead. Is there a version of me that literally avoided that? And the answer, I believe, is yes. That was really bad. I don't know what happened there. I was already aware of the stupidity of that linear representation of time. Okay, so you do see the flat timeline, point A, point Z, as well. More than you can imagine, I work on time for a philosophy thesis. All right. So you get that concept, like people are always trying to push the whole A to Z for time, but it doesn't actually make sense. It truly doesn't make sense when you think of it that way, because when you do that, you kind of crush a lot of other theories in the oh my god, they're so strong. What is with this room? What is this room? I can barely act. I'm being stun locked. Hey, remember that thing about not seeing what's happening on screen? Well, I'm being frozen, if you couldn't tell. I'm being petrified and frozen. Okay, I won. I hate that room. I hate that room. I don't like that room, and that's just the start of the dungeon. I don't like it. There's a version of me that could have expected that to happen and played it smarter. I could have ran in and poisoned them and ran out, and then as they trickled through the door, I could have killed them one by one, but I didn't. So we're talking about choices and what leads to multiple realities, but the truth, again, like I say, I don't believe it leads to multiple realities. I believe those choices have already happened because of synchronicity. Synchronicity, I feel, pre-establishes that things have already happened. It has to. It makes more sense to my brain that it means things can and in fact have happened or happened at the same time, because time is not linear. Time is not A to Z, so therefore synchronicity would dictate that they are happening and have happened before, which again, for me, this is a huge stretch, and I know there's others that share this belief, but that bubble theory I talked about, where if you were to look further enough, or even travel further enough past our known universe, you would meet another version, or the same version within the same timeline, past, present, future, of yourself and your world, your other existence. There was a movie called Other Earth, which actually was effectively that, except the realities were coalescing. They were coalescing into one. Really good movie. I think the sad part is it's not really so much about the fictitious science, it's more about a character, but it's still really good. It kind of like messes with your head a little bit, which is nice. In a good way. It's actually like a really sad but eventful movie. It's worth watching. I would call it science fiction light. It deals with a very heavy science fiction basis, but then it doesn't really focus on it. If that makes sense. It's more of a drama. Which is fine. Oh, I need a key. Where's my key? Maybe it's on that person over there. There's no other versions of you, though. No, I believe there is. I believe there is. That's my hard set belief. I believe there are multiple realities. Because in my experience, I can't rule it out. I can't rule it out. And maybe that's what, this is I want to get too far into like religion, but maybe that's what people interpret God as. Maybe God is just the perpetual Ouroboros of reality. It is a knowing presence of everyone and everything. Synchronicity itself is that divine. You know, if people want to call it divine, maybe it's more than that. It's a never-ending cycle of everything. And I don't know. No one knows. No one will know. This is a terrible room. This is an equally terrible room. Aha! But this time I got away. I hate that room. I hate that room with a That's a strong boy. That was a strong boy. Oh yeah, did I mention the revive mechanic? You lose revives. In my thesis, I defined time as a condition of possibility for the expansion of the universe. Well, that also has its own theories. Yes, definitely. And then I said, like, to me, I think it's more of a sphere. Yeah, maybe it's like that, and it is the possibility for the expansion of the universe. We all talk about, like, going forward anywhere. And oftentimes, if you want to travel through time, it's heat. Heat drives things forward. What do you do when you launch a rocket? You use heat. You have to use heat. At the moment, that seems to be the only way forward. We're burning calories. We're burning heat. We're generating heat to go forward in our lives. We're propelling. So the expansion of the universe, time is heat. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. There's dozens of theories that support each other and deny each other. But that thing is a problem. And I would say I have to deal with it first, but I can't because it's in the back of the room. He's gonna drain all my lives. I'm humbled to find an enemy that can kill my ass very quickly. You define the idea that shouldn't be seen as the fourth dimension, but as the first one, more fundamental than the others. That's the problem, though. People like to call themselves the first dimension. It's like, what is here now is the first dimension. It's like, well, that's a linear way of linear think. You know my terminology I'm trying to reach. That is a very straightforward way of thinking. If you think you're the first dimension, if you think you're the all-important, that's like saying the sun is the center of the universe. Well, we have mapped, an idea of what the universe looks like. We're not in the center. Not even close. For anything to evolve into space, it needs time. Even if it's a 1 or 2 dimension space. Yes. I mean, I did not go to college. I did my own, little independent forays into... I know you hate the terminology. I was researching black holes and dark matter and shit like that when I was in middle school. My teacher's like, what interests you the most? And I was like, space. So he's like, okay, well, let's get you a bunch of books on some currently not that important things that most people are just going to ignore. And I was learning about gravity and shit like that. And I found it very fascinating. Did I understand everything at the time? No. I was in middle school. But I understood enough that the distortion of time with that alone. Again, Interstellar deals with that a lot, so it's really fascinating in that regard. And that's where I based a lot of my own research. I was trying to look at more things related to gravity, because gravity made a lot of sense. Gravity made a lot of sense. And gravity generates heat. So again, the whole inevitable death of our universe via heat death makes a lot of sense, but also the expansion, the rapid expansion of the universe makes sense. And then you try to correlate where that fits in with time and what we think we know about time. That guy hurts. Why do they always hurt? It's these Naga. They suck. They suck. They suck. Don't press. Oh my god! I almost exited the game. I'm trying to spam buttons faster than him, but I keep getting frozen. I keep getting frozen. Ah! I'm feared. I'm feared. Oh, he is so bad. He is so bad. That enemy is actual ass. And it's just them. It's just them. Oh my god. It's not the same as saying time is linear. No. Time has no shape other than the one of entropy. Well, yeah. Maybe not even the same as me saying it's a sphere, but then again, entropy is we believe entropy is just wild in its own nature, we don't actually know if entropy even exists, as well as we don't know time exists. Saying, like, I believe time is not a straight line also implies that I believe that time has a shape, but I don't know if time has a shape for certain. I just correlate it to the next thing I can correlate it to in my mind. There's a lot of grains of truth in many types of fiction, because fiction is from a variety of different sources for it to be fictitious in the first place. And if you look at anything that's taken from the greatest minds in the world that is then correlated into fiction, maybe you'll pull out a bit of the grains of truth over time. But no one knows how any of it really works. We're all guessing. There is actually a physicist that is trying to make a time machine. He's actually trying to make a legitimate time machine. Why? His reasoning was he never got to... Now, don't get me wrong. He never got to say goodbye to his father. He's not trying to go into the past because he believes it's impossible. He believes it's genuinely impossible to go into the past. And at least with the technology present, even if you were able to make such a machine, it would be impossible by the standards in which he's looking at. And those standards being that you can only travel in time if you have a powerfully generated conduit, pillar, generator, I don't know what else you would call it, some sort of base point in time with enough energy to then broadcast to another similarly charged thing. In other words, you'd have to create it first to be able to travel to it. Layman's terms, literally need this door here to enter door. He can't go backwards. And he believes that firmly, and he's trying to work on that thesis. He is building, tried to build for the past probably like 20 years, I think he called it a time spiral? Which is like a really complicated door system. So you would generate this thing, and then you would create another one in the future, linking to the one you already have, but linking to it at the I don't know how he's going to do that, to be honest. You would basically walk through the spiral, through a timeless space, into the time in the past, or into the future. I don't know, it's complicated shit. But here's the problem I have. I have a very earnest question about his theory. What happens if we miscalculate, even if it works, what if we miscalculate leaving the doorway? Because he says you're going to physically walk through it. What if in that timeless space, you're timeless, but the second you materialize, you're back in time, obviously. What if you enter yourself at the exact same time? You collide with your own essence at the exact moment you've left. Do you know how big of a disaster that would be? I think you would cease to exist, or it would be the equivalent of an atom bomb times 10. I don't know, actually. And I think some other people brought up the same fears. It's like, yeah, what if you just created the most destructive weapon known to existence because you messed with time, you miscalculated, and you think you're going to step through a door and be like, oh, wow, nice year. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Time exists as a mistake of logic. Because time is a conditional possibility for existence itself. But see, that all I have a counter though. I think it's both wise to say that, but I also think, again, that's assuming that multiple realities are created. We go back to that discussion because what you're just saying is the possibility of existence is a multiple reality creation scenario. So you're saying, if I eat this apple, I'll be fed, but then I won't have an apple for tomorrow. If I do not eat this apple, the apple will exist for another day, and maybe somebody else will eat it instead. Therefore, I don't get to eat it, and then the apple... Ah, I knew that was going to kill me. They're level 70s, that's why they're killing me. They're the strongest enemies in the dungeon. Basically, to eat the apple or not to eat the apple. If you eat the apple, you don't have the apple. If you do not... Did I say... I'm getting myself confused. Eat the apple, you do not have the apple for another day. It doesn't exist anymore. It has fed you, you are nourished. But if you leave the apple. You do not eat the apple at all that day. The apple exists for another day until someone else grabs it. Then they are nourished and you have no apple. The entire predication of that is that you choose to act or not choose to act. You thinking this creates different realities, though, is where that whole expansionist theory comes into play. If you think the act or the inaction creates the outcome, I feel that's the fallacy. I don't believe it creates the outcome because I believe the outcome has already been made, has happened, and is happening. And then you are only experiencing another facet of it because you're currently in that reality. You are in your own reality with a choice you think is yours has already been made unto eternum. At least that's how I see it. It's not compatible with multiple realities. So I don't believe in them. It's not a counter to your argument. There's a reason to believe in multiple realities. Well, okay, maybe not a full counter. But what I mean is it's a contradictory counter to I don't believe in multiple realities, but I believe in the possibility of creation. Possibility of creation also indicates a belief, maybe, to a degree. And that's the beauty of theories. That's the beauty of theories, because they're all different. Sometimes they get more, lined in with each other. People are like, okay, this makes more sense. This makes sense. That goes into this. Maybe we're talking about the same thing. Maybe we're not. It's all thinking. It's all thinking. It's all thought process. And then, of course, when we can actually prove things, that's when it gets a little more intriguing. But this kind of stuff is stuff that, if we do ever prove it as a species, is not going to happen anytime remotely. And if we burn ourselves off the planet, I mean, it's never happening, but I hope that also doesn't happen. I hope we live in a future where we can explore these mysteries and understand them better. Truly, actually, equivocally, prove or disprove. I want to know. I want to see the man behind the curtain. I want to know how it works. At least a portion of it. I mean, recent years, they proved black holes existed. They were a theory. They proved they existed because we got more visuals on them, and seeing is truly believing, and they're like, what would you describe that as? That's a black hole. That's a black hole. Can we prove that it is a black hole, though, and it's something else? We're going to send something into one at some point. That's going to happen. And that's when things are going to get really weird. If we haven't already, that's when things are going to get really spicy, I think. What we think we know about time, gravity, black holes will be tested. Occam's razor. We should favorize the less ontological heavy hypothesis. In other words, we should think about the simplest explanation. Right? That was Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is usually the right one. But Occam's razor only factors in to anything that would be applied to the simplest explanation. Sometimes the explanation is a lot more complicated, like, I don't know, the butterfly effect, or, the theorized Mandela effect. Which I think there's probably a hint of truth, but that kind of goes into the whole multiple realities thing. It's like, you, as an being of energy, unwittingly travel between some sort of reality states, which of course goes against my very thought process of like, you don't create realities, but not necessarily. It's not that you're creating them, it's that you're shifting. And that would only be explained by quantum physics in some weird, freaky-ass way that no one can truly fathom. I don't know. When I get hyper, I think about this shit a lot. Then I eat more sugar. I don't know. I got a A++ though in one of my science classes. We were talking about like really out there shit, and I decided to do a thing on time travel. Talked about this exact same shit. My teacher was like, yeah, you have the most compelling argument for this. And someone else was like, so if Marty goes back and does his mom, it's the grandfather effect. It's like, they literally explained that in the movie. You didn't actually theorize about anything new. You didn't try to bring anything new to the table. They said Marty's in danger of becoming his own dad. Just messed up. Which the movie kind of leans towards anyways, but thankfully doesn't go there. Like literally that was my competition in high school. It's like Marty is his own father. And then I was like, okay, yeah, time travel. Let's talk about multifaceted realities. Boo! I win. It wasn't supposed to be a competition, but the teacher said I won, so I won. A++. Advanced shit for that class. I think they were expecting something like what he wrote, or even something less, like, so if the people in Jurassic Park didn't clone dinosaurs and they want to save money, they open wormhole and drag Dilophosaur through portal. No. No. How does that make sense?
I cannot do
Why is that more fascinating than cloning? It's not about time travel. But I want to make time travel dinosaurs. No! Bad! Ow, I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. Bad! What the hell are you doing? That is a terrible, terrible weapon. We destroy that now. Yeah, I find this shit really fascinating. And I do really enjoy talking to people about it, like, who have the same kind of grasp of, like, the what-ifs, the different theorems of what, you know, could be what is. And I think that is also part of the learning experience that a lot of people are missing out on in life. They need to... How good is that? Hold on. It's not good. Okay. I was looking at the other stats. I wasn't looking at the power. I think asking those questions, trying to understand where your feet are, that is how people learn, truly. I don't think someone telling you, you know, read this manual, this is the way things are, accept this. I don't think that that is how anyone learns shit. This is a better emerald. We want this. We want this now. We must have it. We're going to put it in. I feel asking those questions, trying to look at what people already know, and then trying to find more about it, tinker with it even. That is where things get intriguing. Okay, so we now stick this in. So it goes from a 9.0 to a 10.5. Oof. We don't even have access to create those. We just found that. Oh no, never mind, we do. Okay, we just got access to them. I don't know how, I don't know when, but we got them. Which is good, because now I can take that out, and I can put another one in. So that boosted our damage up even further. That's like, at a flat value, 21%. But from what I understand with the stats in this game, it's not a full 21%, it's a percentage of. But it's a lot better than what we had. It's, in fact, probably an enormous number that 1 or 2% average is a lot larger than it seems. Well, we have that interest in common then. Yes, good. Fellow scientist, fellow theologian. No, not theologian. Sorry, wrong. Not theologian is religion. Theory crafting. Yeah. Fellow wizard. That manual is where religion's coming to... I didn't even see that. There we go. They're sacred books. Yeah. And I believe there's so much truth there, too, to every religion. And that it's the same with science. It's like people need to look at it all and then try to coalesce it and see what makes sense. Because if you do detective work and you see what makes sense, then you actually know. Then did we actually do the dungeon? I don't remember. Sorry. I don't remember. Did we do it? We did it. We did it. Oh, good. Yes. We did it. It's very good. I believe when you take something and you take every little facet of it and you try to reconstitute it, that's when you see the truth in it. That's when you can actually see what makes sense, what is, you know, whole cloth as opposed to, you know, just patches. Little patches. People make too many patches. They get complicated with their shit. Why do they get complicated with their shit? It doesn't have to be that crazy. I don't know. Okay, so we got our butt handed to us by the Naga enemies in there, so we're still a long way from surviving some of those higher dungeons. That was a tier 12. We weren't having problems with tier 12s before. It's a particular enemy type. So I guess anything that can body slam us will kill us. Pretty much that's what I'm being learned in. The lesson of pain. The lesson of pain. If an enemy can body slam us, we're dead. We're dead. We're done. Also, I didn't realize how strained my voice was until now. Sorry. We had a full night. Oh no, not this one.
His cute little symbol. He's gonna spell my doom.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my god. Okay. So basically that symbol gives us a countdown. You rush to an area and we have to get to the symbol or we take a shit ton of damage. And this is a tier 10 dungeon, so I'm not sure how much damage we'll take. Probably will kill us if we don't get inside of it. This is going to prove to be one sticky little friend. Okay. We had a good long night so far, streaming earlier. It's actually not a very common thing for me to stream multiple games in one night. I'm glad I did it tonight. I felt like I was cheating you guys because I was really pumped for 7 days. And then I wanted to play Diablo. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do a Diablo stream.
We'll do more 7 days tomorrow.
Yes. But I really enjoy having these little, both philosophical, scientific discussions. I was a very, very good subject creator in school, where we would have some sort of discussions and theories. I always come up with it. And sometimes I wasn't supposed to. Sometimes like a history class I'm talking about, like, what's the real motive behind this army going after this? We're not even studying the Greeks. What's wrong with you? And it's just like, what could it be? Monsters? Were they actually fighting Gorgons? Garrett, sit down and shut up. I wanted to study more, gods and goddesses in school. I had to learn that shit later. All my school wanted to teach was communism and why it was a good thing. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding about that. They wanted to teach why it was a good thing. And not for the reasons you'd think. Not like, oh yeah, community. No, they're like, yeah, the reason Lenin could have succeeded. What the fuck? I don't want to know about this. I'm a kid. Pardon. Bad school, bad. I want to learn science and mythology. Here you are telling me how I should, change my country. Pardon? No, here it comes. Okay, we're good. Oh, you think it's funny. That's really what happened. My school was terrible. It was terrible. Like, all right, sociology, we're going to be teaching you about Marxism, and how you can apply it every day. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? I think that's why I got kicked out of that school, because I refused to do it. We want you to read this book about people burning books, and how you too can burn books that you don't agree with. And it's like, what are you teaching? Oh, that's why I want to go back. If I could go back in time, I would go to that school and start doing a Gandalf rant scream. What are you doing? You fools! Hit them with a fucking stick. Some random guy with a beard showed up and started whapping our teachers in the head. Looks suspiciously like one of our students. Are you the father? No, it's just me. It's fine. How are you teaching these kids stupid crap? What is wrong with you? You shall not teach them garbage. You're making them more socially awkward than they already are. Maybe that's a good reason that we can't just travel in time, because I would be the scary wizard dude that just shows up and hits people with a solid object. Literally dress like a wizard and just show up at different periods of time and mess with people. What is this garbage? You stupid idiots. Oh my god. I do not like this little golden sigil companion. This thing is annoying. See, at first I thought it was really charming and cute until it hit me what I was supposed to do. And then it literally hit me when I failed to do it. If I'm outside that bubble when it appears, I might die. I'm pretty sure I'll get one-shotted at this difficulty level. Pretty sure. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's grab this. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good, good. Okay, we should have everything. I think. Maybe. No, please. Sometimes this little bastard will book it in the opposite direction really fast, and you only have a moment to change how fast. Because if you don't have movement speed, you're not going to make it. Thankfully, we have a decent amount of movement speed as a werewolf. We picked... I don't think we picked poorly. When I first made this character on stream, I was like, oh, maybe choosing the movement speed is not a big deal, but it could come into play late game. I was 100% correct. It's coming into play late game. We need the movement speed. If we don't have the movement speed, we're toast in a scenario like this. It also gives me a little bit more distance reaction time to specific enemies and abilities from a distance. If I see something bad about to unfold and I have time to react, I can at least move myself fast away from it. I failed to do that earlier because, you know, the big snake decided he was going to ground pound my ass into oblivion, but besides the point. Okay, let's, yes. Good, good, good. We got this, we got this. Get off me. Let's go.
I'm not ready yet.
Let's go. Uh-oh. I do not want to be... I don't even want to tempt whatever that will do to me if I'm outside of it. I'm pretty sure it will kill me.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh.
I must wait a moment.
Okay. That's undoubtedly trapped. Yep, I knew it. Oh, it's only one enemy, though. He's not particularly dangerous. Nice. I would like unique, though. Please. Please, could I have a unique? It would be so nice.
I must wait a moment.
I don't know why. It's fine. It's fine. We're either going to use him or we're not.
I must wait a moment. I'm not ready.
Oh! You're not immune in that bubble either. I think the coloring choice was poor. It makes you think it's an immune bubble, but it's not. You will take damage. The roots, it basically forces you to be... See, that's my immune bubble. It's the same coloration. They are very different.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. Nothing in here? Cool. Arg! Arg! Bane. Join Bane. Join game. Unless you're drunk. When you're drunk, you don't have an attention span. I'm sorry, my friend. You just don't. Hey Bane, why are you choking? He go arg. He arg. You like, comment, subscribe his channel. You will make him not go arg. You check him out now on YouTube. He no go arg. Wah! Kill them! Oh, Big bada boom. Oh yeah, that little bastard will go off several times, by the way. That little glowing symbol there. He's not done with me yet. If I leave this invulnerability sphere... Yeah, see? He's doing it right there. Let's see if we're actually immune. Huh, you can't kill me. But if you leave the circle, he'll kill you. Because he's still trying to kill you. Isn't it beautiful? It's lovely. Yes. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're fine. We're fine. No, please. Wow, this guy is tanky. Aye. Okay. Yes. Yes. Ah, good, good. Lovely. Lovely. Look at that. Look how much damage we can do. Ooh, we're almost there. Gimme! I get stuck. I don't know why I get stuck. How are you, Bane? How was your night? Besides, ugh. Oh god. I'm fine. I just inhaled a bit more soda than I should have. See, in an alternate reality, I didn't do that. That's... Oh! Oh god, no, not now. Please, no, game, please. The game is dying. It's fine. It was running fine. It truly was. Attack speed. I don't know if I care enough for that. I don't care about that either. I really don't care about that, despite using Hurricane. It's not about the damage Hurricane does. It's about the modifiers it gives us, the synergies. Every time we cast it, we get +2 to our Werewolf skill, which in turn gets this ability up to 12. We have a level 12 shred whenever this goes off, which makes us quite strong. Also, this creates vulnerability, which also in turns creates lightning synergies that do a lot of damage. Lots and lots of damage. 1 second, chat. I'm gonna see if, Bane, did you fall asleep at the keyboard? He shows up for a second to go, ugh. Where are you, Bane? Where are you? I'm sad we're not in the one unique reality where all the games come out perfectly optimized and accessible. And yes, I believe it exists somewhere. No, I was walking. Ah, okay. How was your walk? Was it good? I believe somewhere there is a reality where game developers actually have the 100% best of intentions. They all, every single one of them, have in fact released or will release the game as intended, beautifully as possible, and running as well as possible, optimized. That is a world I would truly love to visit. It would be, but sadly, my friends, there is no way to cross that great divide, unfortunately. Long day. Oh no. Long day. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're having a long day. Okay. You know what's funny? It shows me I have to go all the way around, but reality would just go over here. You just literally cut to the right. You don't have to follow the map. Oh god, the game is like suffering. I don't know why the game is suffering. Let's go into the dungeon. Whew. I might have to grab some actual water in a moment, because I don't want to run out of my soda. And I am, like I said, one bottle. I'm gonna have to go shopping at some point. That's what I need. This will happen. This will happen. At some point. You're not you. You're first. I will take that topaz. Ow! That knight hurts. Remember, the biggest damage dealer we have is the fact that whenever we deal critical damage, we do more damage flat against those enemies. So if they have more health, it's actually good. It's it's good that they're tanky because after getting 1 or 2 crits, we're already dealing more with our subsequent attacks. And that's where you see huge damage numbers pop in. Gold Shrine! Die, die, die! Okay, good. Oof. All the money.
You must wait until
Ow, he waited for me. How could you? How could you wait for me? Why would you hit me like that? It is rude to hit me with a wind-up. Oh, I need a key. Okay, it's fine. We'll get it. We'll get the key, do not worry.
Don't worry, my friends, we'll get it.
Die! Bane, as Batman, has logged in. That can only mean one thing. It means he has, in fact, arrived home. Unless he's trying to play from a mobile device, in which case he's the first person to ever try it. In which case, Bane, you're about to destroy your phone. This is not Diablo Immortal. Not quite in the mood to be on stream. Okay. If you still want to talk, I'll be down. I won't be on much longer.
I'm not ready.
I may, in fact, just end it after the stream, because I have streamed a lot tonight. And, this is the second helping stream. I was streaming 7 Days to Die, the new alpha. Experimental. Let me go. Probably want to spend some time with Bane. Sounds like he needs good friendship, good company. Let's kill. But I got some more Diablo in. And I do want to do more Diablo streams, because I am very interested in playing this game, but at the same time, I am, again, fully aware it's not, you know, the biggest thing on my channel. I mean, I played a bit of Diablo 3, I remember, back in the day, and holy crap, no one liked that. No one liked to see me play Diablo 3, despite some of my creative builds. No one wanted to watch that. I get it. Maybe not cup of tea for everyone, but if you're enjoying the game, that's the whole point of the game. I really am not one to play games that may get views that I hate for views. I would rather get the views off the games I enjoy, like 7 Days. I mean, I started with 7 Days, so naturally more of my fan base would be into 7 Days, but even so, I'm not going to become a Fortnite streamer, even if I could get easy, you know, several thousand viewers every, you know, month. No, not doing it. Never happened. Sorry, but I will not play that game. And if I ever play Fortnite, it's going to be the legacy version with the zombies. Because that's what Fortnite always was to me. I'm not going to play that hyped up garbage. I don't believe in that Fortnite. That doesn't exist. No.
I'm not ready yet.
What is this? Stand of armor.
Oh yeah, Bane, I killed the Butcher in a Nightmare dungeon. I think it was rank 12? Rank 12 dungeon? It was pretty touch and go, but I got him. I realized I could do an obscene amount of damage to him, but oh boy did he hurt. Oh boy did he hurt. He was a scary, chonky boy. I killed him. And I got a cosmetic. Oh, I forgot to put it on my horse. I gotta put it on my horse at the end of the stream. Please, everyone remind me. Butcher cosmetic for horse. I can proudly show off the cleaver. That he didn't drop, which is the funny part. He does drop a unique, but I didn't have the luxury of getting it. I just got the cosmetic of that for my horse. Pretty cool to see somebody wielding cleaver and they have the thing for the horse. That'd be neat. I am the storm. I bring the storm wherever I go.
I'm not ready
barely pay attention to the game. It was just background for discussion. Oh no, you didn't see the butcher. Oh no.
It's okay. I'm just glad you're enjoying the banter. Ultimately, the biggest thing I do. The biggest thing I do. You need noise. You need a person talking. Hey, we're hanging out. It's okay. It's all good. You gotta go. But I'm still not playing Fortnite. don't think you can get... Don't think anyone can get me to play Fortnite. It's not happening. No. Absolutely not. Actually, I had someone try to steal my Fortnite account. I almost was tempted to let them. It's just funny. It's freaking funny. In the words of Patrick Stewart, it's fucking funny. Oh, try me. What do you think you're gonna get? Oh, you hacked it. Oh, look at the look on your face. 0 hours played, noob shit. Where's my cosmetics, you ask? Did you just seriously email me saying, dude, what the fuck? Look at you, you fool. Ah! What have I done? Seriously, can you imagine a hacker hacking into somebody's account for what they think is the most popular game in history, and they're going to profit off this person, only realize the person fucking hates that game and they don't play it? Like, duh. Go on, build my account for me, you idiot. Go on, do it. Try me. Yeah, I saw the butcher, don't worry.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, the butchie. Mr. Butchie.
Mr. Butchie's, he does not take prisoners. He does not take this shit lightly. He is a guaranteed death in hardcore mode for pretty much everyone. That's where most of the people who would have been on the statue have gone. The butcher has annihilated them. He's already cleaned. He has cleansed the herd. He has culled them. Cannot survive. I am the storm. Now, see, that 13,000 would have been like a 40,000 with a two-handed axe. But ultimately, this is better because of how fast my attacks are. And that includes the lightning strikes. I think attack speed affects the lightning strikes. I think it affects... I don't know. It doesn't make sense that it should because it's supposed to be a cooldown, but I think the attack speed affects it. I know for a fact, occasionally I can strike an enemy. Let's see. I could strike an enemy... So that's the 12-second one. Has a chance to immobilize them, and... the lightning damage dealt to them is... So that's lightning damage dealt. Here we go. 30% chance when dealing damage to a vulnerable, immobilized, or stunned enemy. A lightning bolt also hits. So we get a guaranteed lightning bolt, which is stronger than the others. Because we have a fast attack speed, every hit is a 30% reroll, and occasionally it chains, coupled with this. That's a lot of lightning. That is a lot of lightning.
A lightning werewolf is pretty terrifying concept, actually.
It is. It is. Ah! Damn it! I keep pressing the wrong keys. He would have been... Ah! Okay, I keep pressing E on accident. That's the problem, because I move so fast, I'm trying to compensate for what I'm missing or what I'm hitting. God, the AoE damage is so crazy. And we win. Easy boss. Easy boss. Easy boss. Wait. Was that not a nightmare dungeon? I was gonna say! Don't do that to me, video game. What the heck? Okay. Just leveled our spirit again. 5.1% increased critical strike damage. We're also gonna put a little bit more to fulminate for the future. Just because when I do use it, I want it to be good. Oof. Critical strikes increase the damage, yeah, 2%. That never upgrades, I don't think, but it's that right there that's a lot. I mean, that correlates into that, because up to 12% with a wildcard factor, this will apply first, and then it's increased tenfold. And we look at our current Paragon, look at the actual thing itself. We're receiving a 27.8% critical strike damage with core skills. That's as good as most of our weapon rolls that we see for critical strike damage. An average of 20 to 35%. So right now it's effectively like having a free single stat item with an external bonus of critical strikes increase the damage, which is the big one. That's the, if I took this off, it would ruin my build. It would completely ruin my build. Sadly, this doesn't transform this node. But it doesn't matter. It's a willpower thing. It does accept that. We can still get that in the mix, which would be nice. I don't think we have any other dex nodes. We don't really need it because it doesn't get more. Actually, I think it's I think it's kind of wasted here. Just because we're not getting more than the 25 plus dexterity gives us that requirement. But still, you know, it's nice. It's a nice thing to have. I'll give you 60,000 Sierra Leone to play Fortnite. I don't know what that is. Bane, I don't know. You just hurt my brain. I bet that's worth less than $1. Wait, that's an actual thing? That's an actual thing? Wait, that's 60,000, right? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You trying to get me into the NFT shit? No. 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 I refuse.
You don't want that.
You don't want that? What? That? That's garbage. I don't want it. Of course I don't want it. Why would I want it? All this stuff is
All
garbage.
things have value, I suppose.
And she equips it, goes to a dungeon, kicks ass. It's like, I told you it was good. No. That's what I loved about Morrowind. You could equip the NPCs by selling shit to them. Part of that just really hit that, like, comfy sort of sandboxy, I give you stuff kind of mentality. I'd craft a really cool piece of gear and make a quest giver or a salesperson a god. Can't do it in this game. Sadly. Oh yeah, the horse. We want to equip that thing on our horse. The horse is right there.
Not while I'm in town.
Let's give our horse the thing. Actually, we'll do that last. We'll do that last. Let's put our gems away first. You can't do that. Why? Why? Wow, that's like our first staff. Amazing. I really gotta clean my inventory. I got so many items, I'm like, what if? What if? It's like, no, we got what works. We got what works. Let's put that cosmetic on. Let's show it. Sir? Oh. Okay. Yes. Oh my god, it's tiny. It's so tiny. Why is it tiny?
I suppose you'll be on your way.
You can barely see that. It's gonna be huge. Just a little tiny meat cleaver. You're gonna be like, what the hell is that shit on your horse? I got this from the butcher. It's garbage. Oh yeah, what's on the shop? Show me my future.
Salutations, one.
It's about $3.
And join the mantle of history's champion.
Ooh. 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 Barbarian. Ooh,
see.
oh my. Snow Panther. Yes. Snow Panther Barbarian. He can't see shit though. Necromancer, horse. Oh yeah, this thing was already, yeah, this was already on the shop. That's new. Anything else that's new? I don't see anything else that's new. You seriously you refreshed the shop for one cosmetic, Blizzard. I think you can make a killing, and the only new thing you have is Beastmane? Are you serious? Wow. I haven't bought anything except for the package I got at the beginning of the game. I seriously, you could make a killing off this, and you choose not to refresh the shop. You say you're refreshing the shop, you only add one new item. Oh, I underestimated your generosity. Sorry, on Google they say 1 Leon is, wow, point some odd 47 euro. It's my joke because I do not value Fortnite at all. Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this secondary stream tonight. I'm glad I did it, although my voice is starting to hurt now. We will be doing more 7 Days to Die tomorrow, hopefully. Me and Keto. We're going to explore more. I smell something burning. That's not good. We're going to be doing more of the Alpha 21 experimental branch. I have to say, it's the first time in a long time the game has ran as beautifully as it did. I've never played a version more stable and more enjoyable so far. And there's a whole new learning curve with 7 Days to Die's new update. I had to learn that now there's a new kind of book. And I'm not just going to be tempted to sell the books as much as I'm going to be learning. Because when you learn those books, you craft things from that tree better on top of it all. So not only are you learning your skills, but you're getting additional skill power to those abilities, those talents. It gives you a more multifaceted way of gaining the experience in that world that you would otherwise not be able to get with normal leveling. The nerfs to the bow hurt. They truly did, but I'm a veteran of 7 Days, so no doubt I will surpass. I will do good. I will do the good. They also added new skills that I'm excited to try out. Like that new attack speed skill is going to be really cool. Whirlwind or whatever it's called. That looks neat. Thanks for the show. I need a breakfast ASAP. Yeah, I gotta get something to eat too. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow, hopefully. And I'm gonna go talk with my friend Bane now. Goodbye. Goodbye.